Huh? What you want?
What's the
What you want?
motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Y'all already know what it is. It's Sunday, a saucy Sunday. We finna have some live action with the Texans Tubers, man. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna recap some stuff that happened throughout the week. What's going on with the Texans, the future of the Texans now that the Senior Bowl is over with and they can dedicate their full attention to getting this team back right. The Senior Bowl team was right, but shit, now we want to see the Texans get right. So everybody, shout out. We'll say what's up. Who all we got in the Texans round table tonight?
Shit is Wink. Dude, shout out to everybody. Part of, you know what I'm saying? As well as the rest of the round. Y'all another good show.
Y'all make sure y'all let me know how the volume sounds. I know some people were saying last year the now y'all know how we start this thing off, man. We start off, make sure that you participate in the roll call. So if you are from Houston, shout out your side. If you're not from Houston, make sure you shout out your city, state, wherever you may be from, so we can show you some love. And like I said, we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna talk about a couple of things. We're gonna spill a little flavor on the Senior Bowl. We may talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl, even though I don't think anybody really watched that motherfucker since we were no Texans in that bitch. But like I say, so we just gonna kind of open up for free discussion. We ain't gonna necessarily do the orderly thing like we were trying to. We're just gonna let everybody speak. So I want to know who had any significant takeaways from the Senior Bowl.
I thought Bill O'Brien and staff did actually a pretty good job. I mean, if there's anything to take away, I mean, they did blow that. They blow the North team out pretty good.
And what's all
So,
the big names, Baker Mayfield and whoever else they was talking about, and Baker didn't even play that much.
They were talking so much about the quarterbacks on the North team, and then like you got the South team. What was it? That kid from Richmond that ended up getting like
Yeah,
player of the game.
that's all I forgot about.
Loletta or Laletta?
I'm not even gonna act like
I'm
I
not
know
even
his
gonna try to
name.
pronounce it.
Yeah, the L
is
kid
it like a Pro Bowl game for them?
Yeah.
with the Senior Bowl.
I mean, some seniors take it, some don't. It's mainly for like guys that like they know they don't have a lot of stock right now. Because I mean, most of like the all-star seniors, they're probably like not really hurt
Participating.
themselves.
Yeah, if they know that
Yeah,
they know they're a first round pick, they're not gonna take the risk to do nothing like that. But it's like you say, those mid round guys who trying to really like boost their stock up, get up, maybe to that second, first round area, collect a check.
They got
Yeah, I
like
think
high
like that
grade
Isaiah Wynn guy, man.
talent, basically, that they just want to see what their technique and everything is looking like in the forefront. That's basically what it is. Sort of like a pre-combine.
I tell you what, man, O'Brien put those young quarterbacks in a lot of good positions. And that's just from coming back and watching the highlights on it and reading about it and all that. I mean, those guys were getting some good yards for the passes they were throwing.
Honcho, I don't see your chat up. I don't see anything.
Oh,
So if
okay. Yeah,
anybody's
let me
like
go
in the
to see
chat, it's
what's
just
going
like
on here. Let's
the
see.
other side is just like I
I'm
guess
trying to see
the
this shit for
city,
myself. Yeah,
and I
I
don't see
noticed that.
no
Wow, there you go.
nothing in the chat. Period.
Wow, there you go. That's my fault. So that's what happened when
Oh
it's
man,
gonna be running late. So the sound I hear, the sound, is it too loud? My mic is not sounding good. Okay, give me just a second. Like I said, we gonna tweak and get it straight. Let's see.
well shit. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jaden, Layton, Warren man, Ed man,
Okay.
DeAndre
So y'all saying I'm low?
family, Jay Dizzle. I hear you just fine, but I
Yeah.
guess that's because we on the Hangouts.
Yeah, that might be part of it. See what's shaking here.
What's going on, Tato?
Say turn everybody else down and then move mine up. Okay. Make sure everything is cool, man. What's the motherfucking deal? Parrish was in the mix. I think he in here somewhere. He might have had to bust a move, but I thought he was in here. He might have had to do something.
Yeah, Paris went out a little while ago,
Okay.
and I don't know. And Darren's still on damn what's
Okay.
it called? So I don't know what he got going on.
All right, cool. Let me look. I'm freaking and tweaking here. I'm gonna keep talking. Y'all just let me know how it sounding. Y'all saying I need to turn it up a little bit more and get everything right. Okay, so a bunch of y'all said that well, I think the echo is coming from whoever's like listening in the round table, so they hearing me talking and it's repeating. So I don't think I'll be able to change that part.
probably because I got my YouTube. I got you.
Okay.
I'm gonna just lower the volume on real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Make sure we
that.
get it all together. All right. Here's a couple of things. Yeah. Okay. I saw somebody talking about Talib. We're gonna talk about that in just a second too, because that's an interesting situation. But y'all already know what I'm gonna say, because y'all already know how that Texans organization is. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay. I appreciate that. So like I was saying, sorry about that. So somebody said Dwayne Brown was looking like shit in the Pro Bowl. You know, the Pro Bowl is what it is, man. It ain't. Put a whole lot of stock into that shit.
Great concept, man. It is not it's not a like, oh, they're actually an all-star, man. It is just, it's a popularity contest. So if you vote them, they'll be in. It's not anything based on anything else. I mean, I think that's just any all-star game in general.
I mean, if people are still hung up on the Dwayne Brown, I mean, we won in the long run. I mean, we got 3 young picks that we can get, and Dwayne Brown's really not going to be around for the next 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did we? Did we really? I mean, because we don't know what we have in Brian Gaines, so can we really say that just yet? We don't even know.
I think you can confidently say that getting those picks puts us in a better position to get a player that's more capable of being a 10-year player than the 4 years that people think Dwayne Brown could have.
Yeah, in terms of next year, yeah, I mean, you can look at the upside for next year and really feel good about having those 2 extra second rounders, because it is going to pay dividends. But hopefully, he has a horrible season this year, because it's only going to make our picks look even better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once it happens. So it doesn't go as planned, and they don't, and because they don't have a this year either.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think in the long run, when you look back at this trade, we won.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, it really depends to me, in my opinion. Like I say, what we get out of the picks, you know what I mean, and where we go from there. But I see somebody saying Talib will be too expensive. Shit, if I'm not mistaken, ain't Kareem supposed to make $9 million this year? Or something like that. Kareem's supposed to make some change this year, so
like
Talib will only be $2 million more. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to do some finessing. You know, and that's people talking about the expensive.
Wait, did Talib get cut or something?
No, they have him. He's rumored to be on the trading block because he's due, I want to say, 11 this year and something like 8 or 9 next year. But over the next 2 years. But basically, the Broncos trying to make some moves, and they said they're either going to have him on the trading block, see what they can get for him, or they're going to eventually end up cutting him. Somebody had asked me, how I felt about, trading for him. I don't feel like we got too many assets to really to do anything with that. But I wouldn't be opposed to having him on the team. You know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't be opposed to having him. But then you got to think about the character issue. Him and Michael Crabtree scrapping.
These Crabtree won't be to play him this year, so Crabtree really honestly won't.
Mm-hmm. But shit, didn't he have an issue? Didn't he get arrested for some one of them off seasons though? Like 2 seasons ago.
He got shot. He shot himself.
Okay.
He pretty much.
Yeah, he shot himself in the foot.
Okay.
Yeah, he shot himself.
That's funny because that's such a figure of speech. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker shot himself in the foot. Literally shot himself in the motherfucking foot, huh? God damn, ain't that a bitch? Plaxico.
Honestly,
like as far as Talib goes, I mean, like you wait for him to get cut. I mean, you don't go try to trade for him.
Yeah.
And you can try to get him a little cheaper than that. I mean, you're not gonna be spending like way cheaper, but you could probably knock $1 million off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Sherman thing, you still got to keep an eye on the Sherman thing as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's gonna happen this offseason. I think that this offseason might end up panning out for us in some ways, depending on dudes that want to come here. And the fact that Deshaun Watson had already showed up the way that he has, he made the all-rookie team, dudes around the league that are major veterans out of the football respect him, respects him.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that Bennett video, huh?
The Bennett video?
Yeah, when he was talking about Deshaun?
Sherman's video. I didn't see Bennett's video.
Yeah, when he was at the Pro Bowl, during them Pro Bowl practices, Bennett was basically like, he man, old boy, he the coldest. And they was like, who, Luck? He like, hell no, Watson way better than Luck. He like, that boy beat in got the ball like this, and then you think you got him down. He get up and chunk that whole 90 yards. He was just basically kind of like bragging. We talking about, he's the truth and all this other shit, and the rest of them, they was just
Defensive
agreeing with
players
him.
are gonna end up wanting to come here for that fact, the fact that against them, and who to go ahead and ball out the ball more times to put more points on the board, because it's one thing that Deshaun Watson has showed us. He showed us on elite defenses, and will is really not a problem. It just felt like every other drive he was scoring a touchdown.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. My thing is this: what I see with this, like I say, y'all know people talking about Seattle falling apart. That's absolutely true, because Earl Thomas really don't want to be there. He basically said, if money talk, that's basically it. If they talking about paying, then I'll be playing. Sherman, they talking about Sherman's on. He might be a casualty for the cap, and who else was that? They talking about might be a cap casualty. So they got, like I said, I think, was it Bennett too? It might have been Bennett too they was talking about. But so Seattle's not going to be the same. And how you mentioned defensive players and they pay attention to that shit, that's absolutely true, because what you got to think about is on defense, you don't want to play for a team where every fucking defensive possession is critical. Like, every motherfucking snap is critical because your offense can't score points, so you can't afford to have a fuck up and let a motherfucker score shit, even a field goal. But a guy like Deshaun on the other side, it kind of alleviates some of the pressure that's put on the defense, because shit, as long as you're good, you solid, that the offense can get in the end zone. You just got to keep these other motherfuckers out the end zone as best you can. But it's not detrimental if they do score, as opposed to like somebody with Savage or Yates. You the motherfucking team score a touchdown, you feel like shit, game over. You know what I mean? So I think that's another benefit of having them.
Like Deshaun motivates you, man. Like, you want to give the ball back to him.
Yep.
Like you want him to go and put some more points up. Like, it just makes you want to play harder.
For I see Jay Suafilo size, because I played guard before. I would definitely be better than him technique wise. That's a fact. But and that's even 5'11", 250 right now. Like, I would, man, come on, bro. I would be able, if I had Xavier Suafilo size, I would roll grade people. But I just see that Edman had just asked the question. He wanted to know, like, if we had, said he wanted to know if we had like a winning culture, and he said something about Brian Gaine being at the helm. We don't know what Brian Gaine is going to do. To be honest, focus for him to, as a good GM, to get this season started, is if he could trade up, not so much trade up, but third round picks. If he can hit, we'll be comfortable with that. That I think if he hit on 3, maybe 4 picks, concerning maybe he's able to get a nice undrafted free agent. That's about all I could really expect from him. And certain dudes are cut on the team, and he's starting to save on this cap. I think if he can do that, and I think if he puts and he just focuses on special teams a little bit more, because one of the things he said he was definitely going. I think if he does that, then we can implement a winning. But Deshaun Watson is the real culture, along with Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watt if he comes in right, along with Whitney and other guys. There's some guys on this team that want to win, but it's just when shit breaks, put the depth behind the shit's gonna fall apart like it's been doing.
Yeah, I think after this season, looking at all the guys that got opportunities to play, you get to really filter out what your depth is going to be. You get to know the guys that were going to be okay. You could put them out there and just let somebody else sign them. And you can go after other guys that you've seen on tape from other teams, like their practice squad guys, and try to fill in your depth, and just use the draft to try to fill in some depth. Because I've said it before, we don't got to win the Super Bowl this year. We got to set ourselves up in a good opportunity for the following year, when we got that first round and those 2 second rounds. And having Deshaun Watson here, plus the defensive talent that we do have on that front 7, that's going to be coming back healthy. This is a landing spot for somebody who has talent and wants to continue going forward with like playoff runs and hopefully a Super Bowl run in our future. And I think that's gonna attract a lot of attention from people who know that we got money to spend, and they can come here and win.
I feel you. I see somebody. Ed Man asked another question. He said, "Would it be bad for someone to take a I guess something he's asking a question about a locker room cancer or some
Oh,
shit
you
like
talking
that.
about Talib?
To leave,
Uh, uh,
I mean, where's this? I mean, players don't feel that way. That's
mm,
a narrative that's always. Whenever you hear these stupid ass reports about locker room cancer, really shouldn't use that word because cancer's nothing to fucking play with. But like cancer, that shit is created. That's a media stigma.
mm,
That's just
Yeah.
because dudes done been in
Well,
trouble
yeah.
and shit like that. But at the end of the day, behind closed doors, these dudes got respect in the locker room. You know what
well,
I'm saying? So that's what
if you think
matters.
about it, man, fucking people like Incognito, fucking, he's an asshole. So I mean, I could see
Right.
somebody like that
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
kind of personality. But somebody like Akeem Talib. I mean, you can think of him, somebody like Bernard Pollard when he came here. Bernard
Yeah.
Pollard was fired.
Yeah, I love Bernard Paula's one of my favorites, dog. That motherfucker didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
He talked so much shit. I still remember, I want to say it was Reggie Wayne on the sideline. I know everybody,
Yep.
fuck you, motherfucker. After I was like, yeah, Bernard Paula, he the truth. I fuck with him. That boy out there
Shit,
really.
we had that with Swearinger, but his shit was cut short.
Yeah, Scratchy, he just, man, that boy used to pop heads, but he would get dusted a little bit, you know what I'm saying, trying
Yeah,
to
he
go out there
would.
head hunting. But I like Swearinger too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I like players that have that attitude, that Jungle Boy swag. Now, you can't be letting your dog bite on Clowney and shit when you out there missing tackles. You know what I'm saying? So you can't
Yeah.
can't be doing that type of shit. But I saw somebody say something earlier, and they were talking about the kid from Humboldt State, the Kappa. Kappa is the truth, dog. Kappa is he's solid. He ain't look. Don't get your hopes up because he won't be there when we pick it. You know what I'm saying? So because he definitely displayed some skill set in the Senior Bowl, and then he did that shit while Devlin had him out there fucking shuffling and juggling and shit. The other guy next to him was only juggling 2 of the fucking tennis balls. That motherfucker had all. I can't stand still and juggle 3 fucking tennis balls, much less I'm shuffling and fucking what I'm saying, doing a fucking drill and doing that shit. So the kid's nice. He got good hands. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting to see where he ends up, but it probably won't be the Texans, man. It probably won't be the Texans. I saw the Shaquem Griffin too, and what's his name really likes him, Cornell.
Yeah, he
Hopefully,
did.
hopefully that. I mean, I'm trying to do my best not to crack any bad jokes, but you know what I'm saying? I think that I think he's definitely up this stock. You're just going to have to see how teams really feel about this kid, missing a hand. I think that's the only real issue that you'll be able to come up with him. You know what I'm saying?
I see Ed Man is asking another question. He's asking about the culture and shit like that again. At the end of the day, you gotta understand this is a new regime, man. Who's to say what about what it's gonna take to really build this football team to win Super Bowls? Who's to say what Brian hasn't done along with, because now that you have these in the ship for your organization, if you want to be taken seriously, you got to take chances on not the way that they act in the street.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's all
But if Ed
football
really wants a
field.
good answer
Anything
to it, I
else?
mean, we've dominated the AFC South. Outside of this last season, we've dominated our division.
Right.
And I mean, we were 1-5 in our division this year. And if you look at our previous seasons, I mean, we have a winning culture within our division. It's just getting the wins outside of our division stacked up a little higher.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yes.
I think with Deshaun Watson, you're going to see those wins stack up on that other side.
Yeah. Definitely. I say, well, here's the thing though. With Pittsburgh, we ain't gonna be able to. I see somebody talking about, trying to make a move for Le'Veon. One, Le'Veon gonna cost too much fucking money. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna blow everything we got trying to bring Le'Veon when we got solid backs. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Miller. He had a down year last year. That is what it is. But if Foreman comes back and he's talking about his recovery is good, he's basically said he's been working it out, been trying to do some things with that, so he's supposed to be coming along nicely. If he can return to that form that he was starting to look like in Arizona, I have no worries about the running back situation because he showed y'all all in that game his whole complete skill set. You know what I'm saying? He showed his agility. He showed some speed. He showed a lot of different things that you want from a running back, especially a guy like that with size on him, and he can move like a damn near like a scat back. That's what you want, dog. So I wouldn't take the risk.
That comes with that is that stuff's going to come because we're going to improve that offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these guys were getting blown up and there was no hole to begin with.
Yeah.
So us improving that just helps them out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And so we get some of them spots. We get that line bolstered up. That run game is going to improve naturally. And then, like I say, you have two talent. But I know a lot of people. I don't understand it though. I know a lot of people just don't care for Lamar Miller. But I have no problems with it, man. Like I say, as Wink addressed many times, Bob just not using him in the proper fashion. You know what I'm saying? And if
you saw how that looked. Go back and go look at the highlights before Deshaun Watson got knocked out. Got knocked out due to his knee, and watch how it was catching passing touchdown. He was doing this, and we cannot stress enough this man's pass blocking when it comes to play actions and shit like that. I was
Oh yeah, that man can
on this
block.
dude, and his shit was blowing these dudes up left and right, like games where he's been a benefactor of the different days that people don't care about.
I mean, it's not going to be the prettiest thing, but Lamar Miller is a do-it-all back.
Yes, he is.
He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He can block. Like, you can put him in on every single down, and he will be useful to you in some way or another. And I don't think us trading him or going to find somebody else, I don't think that's going to work out too well when we got something that's good already.
Yeah.
Hell no, man. You just let him play his contract out. Let him prove to you that he's not worth keeping around. I mean, he's pulled his weight and he's done what he's had to behind an O-line that has progressively gotten worse since he's arrived.
Because I got to remember, Miller was a track star too.
O-line back to his O-line back, and he to the edge. Get him to go out on stretch plays. Just get him on sweet play. Because we know exactly what he does. If he catches it and he gets in space, you're not gonna. I mean, he's gonna get for a good game, or he's taking it to the house. I mean, don't know what the man's talent. Longest touchdown, like 90-some yards a couple of years ago. So it's not like he doesn't have the ability to do these things. It's just that we don't have the assets to make him more successful that his contract allows him to be.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, people also act like this man's getting paid a ton of money. He's on a pretty cheap contract.
Yeah, he's not that. That's what I say. Yeah, he's only getting a few million. He's not getting paid too much.
Million.
Yeah, that I remember people were saying that was like the deal of the offseason when we did that.
So let's see.
They saying my phone is going in.
Yeah, you can't. It's not, that's what I'm hearing. Is kind of cutting in and out.
All right. Hold on.
Okay. So like I say, man, looking at that, like I say, the Pro Bowl's over with. We can talk a lot. We've spoken on, free agency quite often. We've spoken on the draft quite often. A lot of comments this week have been from players talking about, how they feel about Crennel. And there's been a few things that have been said that I found real interesting. And one of those things was, I want to say, was it Hal? I can't remember if it was Jackson or Hal that basically said it. But they basically said, man, they not tripping because this is Crennel's defense. It's always been Crennel's defense. Basically, what's his name held the title, but it was really still Crennel's because he was in all the meetings. They said, he wasn't running them, but he said he was there. So they're still used to Crennel being around, so that his transition back to DC should be seamless. But that kind of just makes me question, what was really going on with Mike Vrabel if he was consulting with Crennel and that he still was putting out such a piss poor performance. And you had this guy over your shoulder. What makes people think that he's going to go out and be able to do it on his own?
They pretty much said that he was even though he was helping them from the press box and shit like that, it was ultimately up to fucking Mike Vrabel to call the plays. Mm-hmm. So you could take that how it was. It's clear that Mike Vrabel wasn't listening and he didn't want to take advice from Romeo Crennel, the dude who coached him to 3 Super Bowls, who he won under, and who he clearly had the best defense in a year prior. Not even a year prior, like months prior.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
It could still be that Patriot love. I think I might be wrong on this, but I think Mike Vrabel is like the first Patriot player to go on to be a head coach now. And I think people are just trying to bottle that flavor because I mean, really, Coach O'Brien has probably had the longest career as a head coach out of all the other assistant coaches and all the other coaches that have come from the Patriots. So people try to farm that, try to find that spark for their team.
Josh McDaniels getting another shot with the Colts because you all remember he was with the Bears a couple of years
Mm-hmm.
ago. I'm not sure if it was a head coach or OC, but he was definitely doing something with the Bears. And y'all let me know if my audio and shit is better
Yeah,
now.
it sounds better to me.
It's sounding
It
better.
sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. It's probably I had to switch my
I think the whole
two
Mike
different
Vrabel
functions.
promotion though was just pretty much like they noticed that a lot of teams kind of were looking at him as a defensive coordinator, and Texans weren't really set on losing him just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the only thing they could do besides like keeping him at linebacker coach was to promote him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it was a little mature, but I mean, like everybody says, it's still Romeo Crennel's defense. Like everyone still believes in Romeo Crennel. It was just the fact that they wanted to make a move on Vrabel to keep him at least a little bit longer here, and obviously it didn't pan out.
And Max
Well, yeah.
Vasquez, you made a real good point right there, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but he was talking about how Cornell handled the North in the Senior Bowl, because you're talking about some guys that were supposed to be talented, this and that. So does that give you do you feel like that's a good omen? With him, like I said, he only had a week with these guys, and he basically shut down some of the best players in the league with.
You got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, these guys, you can consider them rookies going against rookies, so it's not hard to put a game plan out there to shut down a few guys that you just kind of like target players' abilities and try to put them on display.
Okay.
I could believe that too. And at the end of the day, these dudes are already seeing what it could be like and how versatile they can be under Romeo Crennel. Think of what these young players are like. They like, man, this is the dude who was coaching the Texans. You think they not watching the moves and shit? Okay, Mike Vrabel left. Now you mean to tell me Romeo Crennel is back? And look at what he did without J.J. Watt a year ago, with Clowney, with Merciless, Bernard McKinney, Kevin Johnson, as well as others. You know what I'm saying? Like, that does not go unnoticed. And I see people in here saying something about Kevin Johnson. He not consistent. Yeah, he wasn't consistent when he had Mike Vrabel as a head DC. Now that you have Romeo Crennel back in the fold, he's a good player again. We're gonna give him his time and make sure that he's not injured and he has a full off season to get bigger or lose weight or whatever he has to do to make sure that he's right mentally and physically, because he's going to have to be both of those things if he wants to be a key contributor for this football team in the future.
Absolutely. I saw that somebody said about Wes Welker. Has he been promoted to a wide receiver coach, or is he they still have him as an assistant? I haven't really heard too much about him, or maybe I overlooked something. But
last time I checked, he was still just an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind putting him at wide receiver coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we did see a big jump from especially like our slot receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Ellington, he didn't do much with the 49ers, but you could kind of argue maybe it was quarterback.
Yeah.
But then we also saw a big jump from Braxton Miller.
Yeah, damn right.
Who's been apparently like relying on Wes Welker giving him tips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I absolutely have no problem with that.
It might be crazy, but I mean, what if he became a quarterback coach? I mean, he's played with Brady and Peyton Manning.
Hell, he was a
got to
quarterback.
rub off.
That's a very interesting perspective, man. That's I don't know if I'd be. My thing about it is I don't know if you just well, I mean, shit, you got to find a way some way, but I don't know if you just go from assistant to QB coach. But shit, fuck it, if he's got the influence, he's got the experience.
Playing in college, and he was a quarterback coach.
Yeah, that's what blows my mind too. Yeah, because he was a defensive guy. Now he's a fucking quarterback. He's a quarterback guru. And he was a quarterback guru before he ever had a chance to fuck with any quarterbacks. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? What's really going on?
To be honest, defensive guys can make the best OCs and offensive guys and vice versa, because they know when they diagnose both sides of the football. Yeah. So when you constantly know how to game plan, you know the mind of a quarterback, reads. So at the end of the day, you already know how to play defense on top of knowing how to be the defense. You know what coverages, you know what packages, you know what run routes work, you know what type of variations work against your defenses, because you know the holes in your defense. Regardless if it's players, you know how to exploit things on the defense as a defensive-minded coach going to the offensive side of the ball. I mean, that's just the way that it's really been working out throughout history. Most dudes who come up playing offenses, they make the best DCs. Dudes who come up playing defenses and made the best, because I'm pretty sure, who knows, shit, Romeo Crennel's fat ass at one point was probably on the offensive side of the ball, and he took all that knowledge and put it on the defense, and look at where he's at now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely a good, interesting perspective. Didn't even really think about it. I see somebody saying Welker was over. I don't agree with that, man. I don't think Welker was nice, dog. You got to give Welker his credit. You know what I'm saying, for the work he put in. Welker was nice, dog. I wouldn't say he was overrated. He earned his stripes.
Nah,
In terms of Sean Ryan, like I know people were trying to pull him away, but is it any talks? I know he's still with us because I haven't heard any rumbles as far as that goes. But have y'all heard anything else about Sean Ryan keeping his position solidified on this team?
Like I said, I know he was out there at the Senior Bowl with him, and I know that the Vikings are supposed to be interested in him. But I don't know if he might have been waiting for the interview until the Senior Bowl was over. And I'm not sure exactly what that situation is. But that's really the only news I've heard from him is the Vikings.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else other than him being interviewed for the OC position with Minnesota.
I don't think on his point it would make too much sense to go to Minnesota. I mean, for the simple fact they don't even know, because they got 3 quarterbacks that they don't even know who's going to end up starting, because Zimmer really doesn't like Case, but Case was doing everything he had to do to put them in the position that they were just in, being in the NFC Championship. He had everything to do with that. I know he loves Teddy Bridgewater. He wants him to get a contract and do what he has to do, but, I mean, and
remember, it's a business. So, if you can go up there and become an offensive coordinator and you can showcase some of your knowledge, the next step is being head coach. So,
Ed Man is saying something that the hatred, for one, I have no hatred for no man. But to sit here and say that the defense being injured, bro, only J.J. Watt, Christian Covington, and damn Whitney Merciless were the only dudes hurt. So for you to sit here and say that only 3 dudes are the only key contributors to an 11-man defense, and the fact that he had dudes playing out of position, he was making the wrong play calls in certain scenarios. He wasn't smart enough to know that his players were young enough to get back in their depths in the cover 2, and they had key communication issues all over the field. That you blame that on coaching, bro. I don't care what you say. I have no hatred, but at the end of the day, if you watch defense, if you play defense, then these things that go on. And at the end of the day, he never coached these dudes up, and he kept allowing them to play dumb all season.
So I see somebody talking about what position we'll talk about some draft stuff towards the end of the stream a little bit, because like I said, with the position we're in right now, of course we need O-line because we need to protect Deshaun, but at the end of that situation, it's going to be a little bit awkward. We'll talk about that in a second, but we damn, I had a train of thought, and I fucking like somebody else had said something else, and I wanted to fucking mention. Damn it, what the fuck? I lost my damn thought, man.
And I see JJ DA Texans is saying we lost Reader, bro. That was like week 16 where it didn't even matter.
Yeah, he was at the end of the game because he kicking
and
it.
And then Clowney had played all 16 games this year, so I don't know. I don't know where that's
Duck Scout.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not adjust to the offense is taking Clowney out of the game and not get somebody else on the other side? It's not a talent thing. It's just adjusting to the game, and that's something Vrabel never did. When people would zone in on Clowney and run away from him, he never adjusted to that.
No. And in-game adjustments are a major part of coaching.
There was no game. Like, he just stuck with his game plan. He never adjusted. Like, there was no adaptability with Vrabel.
Yeah,
and we see what y'all saying about the minor knee surgery, bro. That was after the season. The season was over when he got all this. So at the end of the day, he was still on the field producing. He led the league in TFLs and all. Was like second in the league. You know what I'm saying? He produced, and at the end of the day, he's playing his way to a big ass contract. So Jadeveon Clowney was far from the problem. Other dudes wasn't picking their game up like they were, because Bernard McKinney's play fell off this year due to Mike Brady.
McKinney's so damn goofy. I didn't mean to cut you up, but man, I be watching that dude on Instagram. Do y'all ever follow this dude on Instagram?
He just tackled somebody where he was eating it or some shit like that.
At the motherfucking Subway, tackling somebody. Then this nigga went to the beach, dog, and just like running people over and just doing goofy ass shit. That motherfucker a big goofball, dog.
That's because he hears Wink talking all that shit about him.
Hell yeah, you better get that damn weight up off of him because at the end of the day, y'all know damn well he's not supposed to be no 6'4", 270. He needs to run and be able to run sideline to sideline. He can't do that at 260, 270 pounds. He just can't.
Yeah, you got to come off some of that shit. All right, Jake, this is one of the sauce raffle. I see you.
And Ed, man, bro, if Romeo Cornell has this defense with the players that we had this season, they still a respectable defense. Without Whitney Merciless and J.J. Watt. It's been done before.
It's been more balanced, bro.
Exactly.
It's been more balanced.
Well, Max Vasquez said Vrabel probably designed the defense around the linebackers. Well, a defensive coordinator or a head coach now is going to have to be able to do more than that. He's going to have to change that. So
yeah, that's part of the adjustments that we're talking about. You know, you're going to have to make adjustments.
He was just real front seven oriented, bro. And we saw it in the rush defense compared to the secondary defense, bro. It was horrendous.
absolutely.
Get him, Paris.
So he was focusing on the linebackers. So you're saying that he was focused on linebackers, so maybe he should have been a linebackers coach.
Yeah, that might have been it. And that's what I think. I think he's a glorified linebackers coach. That's what he is to me. I mean, he was a great, outstanding linebackers coach, but that's just that. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing above that. Don't give him no extra responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
For every fan in here that has something to say about Mike Vrabel's defense and this and that, okay, if he didn't have the bodies, if he wasn't good at something, then you tell me how the hell did he have the number 10 rushing defense overall in the season and the very last pass rushing defense like Paris loves to point out? That's not by mistake, bro. He has no fucking idea what he's doing in the back end of the field. I'm sorry.
Look, and as far as everybody hating on our opinion on Vrabel, none of us hate him. None of us were calling for his head. We were just saying that if he left, we'll be fine with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just rather for Cornell.
I think we all agree that he just wasn't ready to be a defensive coordinator.
There you go.
Yeah, like I say, man, it's a bunch of things. I see y'all talking about the injuries and stuff. It's an accumulation of things that took place. But the thing is that you have to be prepared to handle those situations. You, like they just said, you have to make adjustments. And you didn't see any of that for Vrabel. I understand he was a first-year guy. Cool, but this is not the time for us to be letting him go through growing pains, especially when we finally got us a franchise quarterback. We finally got that other side of the ball right in a position that we haven't had solidified really just ever. Schaub was solid when he was here for what he was doing, but to actually have an outstanding, above average, transcendent player at quarterback, man, you're going to have to step it up on your side of the ball. Like, there's no reason that we're having the fucking highest offense in the league. We have the number one offense during the time Deshaun is there, but the defense still giving up just as many fucking points. I don't care if it's Russell Wilson. I don't care if it's fucking Tom Brady. I don't care about none of that shit. Like, you don't let motherfuckers hang. I'm sorry, what was that?
Put it in perfect contrast. Look at what Bill O'Brien did compared to Vrabel. Bill O'Brien was missing 2 tackles. He had multiple injuries on the offensive line. He lost his starting quarterback.
He lost his slot dude.
His second wide receiver. I mean, but he made adjustments. And even with Tom Savage and that hurt offense, if you go back and look, they were moving the ball pretty well. Now, it might not have been the most prettiest, fantastic thing. The only thing that really dipped was our red zone capability and our ability to score.
He lost his top two tight ends.
Exactly. And you look at that. I mean, you look at one side of the ball, the guy's making as many adjustments as he can with what he has to move that ball. And then you look on the defensive side of the ball, and he's not making the adjustments to just stop the ball more often.
Oh, word. I didn't know that Brian Dawkins was coaching the secondary for the Eagles. Yeah, Brian Dawkins, that used to be good shit. I used to be a Dawkins fan. That motherfucker was cold.
We both.
Yeah, that motherfucker was the truth.
I see, Ed, man. I see what he wants to say, and he thinking we blaming Mike Vrabel for everything. I'm not saying that dudes didn't blow their assignments. I'm not saying dudes didn't have communication answer. But at the end of the day, the plays that get implemented with the plays because of how defense is played, you still have to adjust even on the fly. If they calling high routes, if they making high reads, then you have to adjust. And if somebody is not being put in the right position to go ahead, and then you have communication breakdowns on top of, because we've noticed in past seasons, early in the season, we couldn't play run D. Romeo Cornell adjusted, and we were the top team after the bye week,
True.
as well as tackling. So don't give me this Mike Vrabel. It's not on Mike Vrabel. Yes, the hell
Yeah,
it
don't
is.
give him that shit, cuz.
Don't give me that shit.
He ain't got
Don't.
time, cuz.
But today I got time. That shit that's fucking funny as shit.
You got to think about also the big plays that they gave up.
All right, look, this is what we're going to do for y'all. Look, we gonna get the opinion. We got 50-something people in the chat, so we're going to keep it talking, but I'm going to put up a little poll. We're going to see what y'all really think. So we're going to say, who do y'all feel is the fault that the defense was as bad as it was? Was it on Vrabel, or do y'all think it was just a collection of situations that took place, mainly injuries? And we'll go Vrabel.
It's more on Vrabel.
Let's see if it's more.
It's more on Vrabel, but at the end of the day, and I see dudes was talking about the secondary coach. John Butler, his 3 years prior was fucking excellent with the Texans, because we had the number 2 and 3 pass defenses. It's so quick how Texans fans always don't do their homework, and how they love to point out shit that they don't understand, when you can clearly go look at the numbers behind the scenes and see where our pass defense relied, with John Butler being the damn secondary coach prior to this season. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to sit here and say that, injuries, when we only had two major injuries, and we had one depth injury with Christian Covington. You take that away, what else? Who everybody else played? I mean, I don't get.
Well,
They're
they're
all
trying
the
to
injuries on
they're
the
trying to
offensive
fall
side
back.
of the
What's
ball.
going on, everybody?
Yeah. Make sure y'all put vote in front of the exclamation point with vote in front of your vote, so it'll get registered.
See, a lot of the Vrabel defenders are trying to fall back on like the Scarlet injury and when Dylan Cole was hurt, and they're trying to fall back on a lot of those little extra depth injuries that we did have, but didn't have to suffer the whole season through.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you're trying to find a secondary coach, the secondary coach is going to coach what the defensive coordinator wants.
We don't need a
So
second.
in the end of it all, I mean,
John Brown is fine.
they have their techniques and all that, but the DC is going to say what they want and what they expect from the defense.
Yeah, my fault. I made that poll a little short. I'll make it a little bit longer so y'all can get y'all's votes in. So, like I say, it's going to be an issue. Like I say, the thing is this. We'll know the truth in a couple of months. Because, like I say, Cornell going to be at the head of it. If we're still as bad as we were, I know that J.J. Watt will be back, and I know Merciless will be back. But, even in that situation, they don't account for 15 fucking touchdowns, dog. Like I say, we're 15 touchdowns worse than what we were the year before. That's an extra touchdown a game, basically. You know what I'm saying? In the last game, they get an extra field goal. But what you got to realize, like I say, I don't want to sit here and just say I'm not crowning Vrabel the worst fucking defensive coordinator ever. It's just not the right time for us to be experimenting with him. Like I say, it's not the right time for us to be trying to go through some transitionary period on defense just because he's supposedly a hot commodity. I think maybe they wanted to see what he was really working with, and I don't think they're really tripping on letting him go now. And like I say, you got Rag back there, a proven leader who's done better with worse teams. So I'm not concerned about that. Now, I saw somebody ask me earlier about Will Fuller. I'm going to be honest, man. Will Fuller, I like Will, and he definitely looked good this year with Deshaun. But I'm trying to figure out, is that an improvement on Will and his catching and everything is that on him, or was that just on Deshaun Watson? Because everybody looked better with Deshaun Watson. The injuries kind of concerned me a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised they take some looks at a couple other receivers, not necessarily to replace them, but maybe more depth, something like that. Because you're not sure what Will brings. I mean, shit, he had a collarbone injury, had a rib injury. The rib injury was only supposed to be like a week or two. I think he ended up missing 3 or 4 games because of that.
But we know why that happened, bro. Savage threw him to the wolves, bro.
Oh yeah, Savage just go get motherfuckers
Yeah,
killed.
Will. I think Fuller is good. It's just I don't think the quarterbacks other than Watson put him in a position to succeed. Because that's one thing people questioned about him when he came out is he was a skinnier kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And they questioned whether he could take some of these hits. And I think Tom Savage throwing him into linebackers or whoever, TJ Yates, Heineke, I think his name was. All of them throwing him into linebackers is not going to help him stay healthy.
Yeah.
No, like Will Fuller. I mean, look at his highlights, man. I mean, Deshaun Watson put that ball in the places where he had to use those hands to keep it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one of the most glaring catches was when Richard Sherman slammed into him, and he didn't let go of that ball. And I mean, it shows that he worked on his hands.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I forgot about that. You sure did.
And my mic is muted for everybody who in the chat talking shit about my mic. I don't even have. That's not my shit. I'm gonna mute my shit right now, and y'all gonna know it's not my shit. So I'm gonna mute it now.
Testing.
Testing. Hello.
Who is it? Who is the mic? Darren, you in the bathroom?
Oh, no.
What do you got to say, Darren? Darren, you've been in here lurking, man. You ain't said too much, Darren. What speak your mind on what's going on, man? The people want to know how you feel.
I just got off first and foremost. What's good, everybody? And as far as like the Will Fuller issue, he's solid in my book. You know, he improved his hands during the offseason. I don't know. I think he took, that Andre Johnson resume when Andre Johnson was a rookie and whatnot. He had those same kind of issues and whatnot. But, he was more sure-handed, of course. But in Andre's second year, he stuck. He went to that jug machine hard, and, he came back sure-handed as ever. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that goes, he's solid, but I feel like we could use more depth. And that's, for everybody that says, oh, Darren wants another receiver. No, motherfuckers, I don't want another receiver. I want more depth.
So how do you feel about the Texans going out maybe and getting a Bucky Hodges?
I mean, I'm not going to. Well, let's hold on. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna answer that as honestly as I can. Seeing as how no team has picked him up as of yet, because I think if I'm not mistaken, he's on Carolina's practice squad. So, if anything, I would lean towards Tyler Eifert or somebody in the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Man, what's Eifert's situation? Is he a free agent this year?
Yeah, he's gonna be a free agent.
Okay.
I don't know. That man's been hurt a lot, and I'm sure he's gonna want a decent amount of money. So I'm not. But
you gotta also look at it just like how
He
you
got
was
hurt
saying.
because Dalton, though.
Yeah, Dalton was just like how you guys were saying. Savage was throwing Fuller to the Wolves. You can honestly say the same thing for Andy Dalton, because if I'm not mistaken, if you go back to the games when we played the Bengals, we was taking some big shots on him. And why do you
that's a fair.
J. Joe did take him out the game.
Yeah.
As far as tight end goes, I mean, really, you could think about it. We can go after undrafted rookies. We can go after somebody in the late rounds. And,
no, bro. Honestly, right about now, we need somebody that's
hold on, I ain't done. You can fill in those spots like that are going to fit the system. You just need somebody that fits the system. You don't need a star in the system. You just need somebody that fits the system. If you get somebody that fits the system, you give Deshaun Watson a check down that he can be secure with.
I agree with that.
He has that in Steven Anderson already. If we're being real.
Yeah. I mean, but what Darren's talking about is adding more guys like that.
No, what I'm saying is if you go out and get, because let's call it for what it is. CJ Fedorowicz is not the guy. Been saying that for almost 3-4 years now since we drafted him. Ryan Griffin is not the guy. I said that when he got drafted. When these dudes got paid, me and Ray both was like, what the fuck are the Texans doing and why?
It wasn't just you, because I just didn't make no video about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't on yet.
Yeah. All right, Darren. You got a couple of questions for you, Darren. I don't know if you're able to see the chat, man. You got a couple.
No, I'm not able to see the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot them to you real quick, because I know some folks had some a couple of questions. I know I just seen one or two. Hold on, I see Darren. It says, who's the biggest threat in the AFC South?
I mean, what kind of question is that? The Texans.
I mean,
shit. I'm not going.
To the Texans.
I'm not going. I'm like, let's call it for what it is. I'm not going to never bet against the home team. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if for all y'all that's asking that,
that's not what he was asking, Darren. He's asking who's
the biggest threat to us.
Like Jags, Colts, Titans.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're going from that standpoint, then I mean, you can't argue against the Jags. I mean, shit, they were just in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
that's fair.
Man,
I
King
mean,
Folk, are
They're
you
the
a
only
fool?
team, bro. And if
and
they
I
get a quarterback in the next
and
year or so,
I'm
it's a
gonna actually
wraparound
talk
team.
and touch up on that.
Yeah.
Vrabel is going to screw up the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Colts, they don't have enough pieces yet. Plus, we don't. Lord knows when Andrew Luck's going to start playing again.
Yeah.
True.
And then Jacksonville is the only team I can see potentially being there again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally.
I personally think the Jacksonville Jaguars played above themselves. Now I know it catches a little heat saying that, but just wait and watch. Just wait. And watch.
I could agree with you on that, man. And the reason why I say I agree with you on that because they felt like they brought this attitude, this underdog attitude in this year, and felt disrespected by everybody. And so you can't play that same card next year. You can't play the everybody think we trash, we're gonna prove them wrong card because now you went out and you did a little something, and they feeling like they there, and so you're gonna have to come with another angle. You know, they got real sassy behind Jalen Ramsey.
The defense
and shit.
in the
And
run
then,
game gonna hold them down.
Kind of going to what Duck Scout said. I mean, when we look at all the other teams in the AFC South, I mean, Tennessee, they still got a lot of things going on. Plus, I mean, Vrabel might be just a complete downgrade. Indianapolis, I mean, they don't even have a defense, to be honest. And then who knows what that O-line's going to do. So, I mean, that might just hurt Andrew Luck again. And then Jacksonville, like, they have the defense, and then they just need a quarterback that's consistent enough to win them games.
Oh man,
So
the
that
AFC South
is pretty much the biggest.
So somebody asked Darren, do you feel that we should get Ladarius Green so he can be our Julius Thomas for Watson?
Fuck yeah. Like, okay, okay, hold on. Before guys go fucking nuts about me saying yes to Ladarius Green, let me explain why I would bring him. And I would also bring him in on a relatively cheap deal and an incentive-based deal so he can stay healthy, you know what I'm saying, and prove that he can stay healthy because that was his issues in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. Just like CJ Fedora was, I believe he had a few concussions here and there, but they weren't as bad. But from an overall player standpoint, I mean, shit, for all you guys that watch my videos, you guys know he's 6'6", 240, and is an amazing athlete. I mean, shit, if you able to run the ball, okay, with a tight end like Ladarius, if you able to run the ball effectively, linebackers are gonna come up once you actually go to make a play action play. Them linebackers are gonna step up, and in the NFL, teams like New England, Denver, when Peyton was there, they proved that if you have those athletic tight ends, all you need is for them linebackers to step up just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, and you can throw right behind them.
Well, my thing with these like guys who are just on the street, they're not on any teams or anything like that, is I feel like there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I agree. From being signed. So
I agree.
So he may be like talent wise, he may be the thing. Who knows if he even wants to play anymore? He could have said, "Fuck it, I'm done." And
true.
You don't know.
True. And I don't disagree with that one bit. That's absolutely true.
So I see somebody saying, talking about a backup quarterback situation. That's definitely something we need to address too, because that's something we don't talk about a lot. Definitely. But it says somebody says, should we draft Flowers or Lamar Jackson as a backup for Watson? I'm not with going after another young QB when we already have a young QB. I'd like to see some veteran presence back there, as opposed to
you get RG3, you potentially draft the dude.
I wouldn't.
There you go. We took it right out of my mouth.
I wouldn't mind RG3 at all. I know there are a lot of people who don't want him here because of his injury thing, but he's not here to play. He's here to be a backup.
He's easily your number 3. Easily. It's not even you can make him your number 3, like somebody said in the prior stream. You can have him coming on as of right now, he's the practice squad dude. I think this is what Ray was saying. And you can have him, you can have him as your third option. True enough, he's going to be able to implement his style. He's going to be able to get back in a better game shape, along with getting a rapport with the guys that are on the team. So, And do you think we can get a line good enough to go against the Jags again? I mean, yeah, I mean, I believe that's going to end up getting handled this off season. You know what I'm saying? They
Well,
have no choice but to make O line first priority.
well,
Exactly.
Hey,
also
have y'all touched on that already?
No,
Mm-mm.
people just asking random questions. We pretty much going by the questions
Mhm.
dudes is
hey,
asking us. We haven't really
don't be
had any topics.
surprised. Don't be surprised if the Texans re-sign Tom Savage. Don't be surprised
I
because
wouldn't
they
be
Hey,
surprised.
Duck Scout, oh my gosh, you almost just made me fall. God damn it, don't do that.
don't be surprised. I'm telling you, they
I wouldn't
like.
be. I wouldn't be surprised if Xavier Suafilo gets signed. I
Well,
wouldn't be
me,
surprised, but for depth or whatever, or they realize they've been using him on the wrong side of the football. I mean, you just don't
Oh my
know.
gosh. I that's a scary fucking thought, man. Oh my.
I'm
We
laughing
got
at
See
Jay
now,
Dizzle,
now I'm
man.
gonna have to go. Now I'm gonna have to go in the bathroom and get it foggy and whatnot to deal with that shit.
we got just around.
Yeah,
we
just
got
make sure
about
you
a
spray
month.
behind yourself, man.
We got
Nah,
about
it's
a
my
month to
bathroom.
know all
Fuck
those free
spraying shit.
agency questions because, quite frankly, I mean, there's nothing been talked about. None of the Houston sports heads are talking about possibility of us going back to re-sign Suafilo and Savage. I mean, I think everybody's kind of leaving that one on the back burner because nobody really cares to have both those players back on the team.
Damn, I came at the wrong time.
There go Ray Ray. Ray Ray just slid up in the mix. Everybody been asking where Ray Ray at, man.
I'm here, dog. I'm here.
Already.
Better late than
How,
never.
how you doing this evening, Ray Ray, man?
Man, father duties, man. You know how that goes.
Hey, family first. As
Yeah.
always. But yeah, so like I said, we talking about a couple, and it's good that we haven't really touched on the linemen and things like that. We're glad you could join us, Mr. Ray Ray. So like I said, I've seen people saying some things about the line situation. I know we just talking about being surprised they re-signed Suafilo, and I almost wouldn't. You know, I definitely wouldn't. How much of an impact do you guys feel like, you know, Brian Game mentioned that, you know, he was up in Buffalo, you know, he wasn't a GM, but he was still had some guys on the radar. He was still doing a little bit of scouting and things up there. Do you feel like that will give him any leverage when it comes to handling the Texan situation? Or do you feel like, I don't know what Buffalo has in the works right now, but do you feel like that gives him an advantage or helps him at all with when it comes to recruiting guys for the Texans?
I don't think it really does because those are two completely different situations. Because he might be he may have been thinking, okay, here in Buffalo we need this, this, and this, but this is Houston.
Yeah.
We don't run the same system as them. We don't have the same needs as them. So who knows what he was looking at? He may have been looking at wide receivers up there or something, but that's not priority one for us. So I don't think
the only way that scenario actually helps us is if he's going out and if a bunch of guys or good guys, you know, were becoming free agents from the Bills or whatnot, and he was, you know, trying to lure them over here or some shit. Other than that, I agree with Doug Scout. It has it doesn't help us.
Okay.
I see y'all saying Xavier Suafilo will be back. And at the end of the day, you got to understand, this is a Bill O'Brien type of guy. These are the type of guys he likes. And now that he has a GM that he's aligned with, remember that term, aligned? Yeah,
Philosophically.
Philosophically. So we don't know. Philosophically, they're going to be in the terms of certain players. Hopefully, Brian Game knows that he's not the guy that you have to use going forward. But we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, see, I think it does not. I think it helps. I mean, if you think about it realistically, I mean, what kind of GM is he if he's only looking at receivers? I understand he's with Buffalo, but I mean, he has the inside track to anything at Buffalo or anything in and around Buffalo. I mean, that's to me. I mean, if he's in the GM worth his salt, he's going to be looking at everything. I don't see how that cannot help us realistically.
And if you think about it, I mean, you know, those players that are up there, their agents are probably going to try to contact him because they know the Texans got money to spend, so they're going to try to get their player the best deal.
Yeah, that's why I say if he's trying to lure free agents from Buffalo, then yeah, that helps.
Okay.
But hold on, one thing how come we touch on more about, you know, who Houston should sign, like Andrew Norwell and all that good jazz, but you know, I'll be looking on, you know, HoustonTexans.com and whatnot, and I don't see them talking about none of that. It's like
they'll never talk about that. They've never done that.
I swear, it's like we doing their job for them.
Yeah, Darren, it's so far away. They're gonna hit the obscure positions, like the tight end positions, the special team position, like a kicker or something. They're gonna do draft profiles or free agent profiles on guys like that.
Well,
That
that's
was
the
not
thing.
like an
Media.
absolute need right now. And then
Dudes
they're
on
gonna work
Sports
with it.
610 are talking about the guys that you talking about. You know what I'm saying? I've heard them on a couple of podcasts that I've listened to over the past couple of weeks. They've talked about Norwell and other serious. I know Steph Payne has. I know Ray
Well,
Ray don't like
those
him,
guys are on
but
point about what they talk about. They know what they want to see to come to Houston. It was the same thing like last year when I heard them talking about going after Watson. I never gave it any noise. I thought they were just bullshitting everybody. But when
I was all over that shit. I was all over that shit. People was calling me crazy, saying I need to lay off the weed and all that shit.
I wanted it. I talked about it, but like I said, in Houston history over the last few years, especially when it's come to draft, every guy that we've thought that could have possibly failed to this team over the years that have been drafted the right way, like Zach Cunningham, Deontay Foreman. Who thought we would have got him? Who the hell thought we were going to get Deshaun Watson? Who the hell thought we were going to get Jadeveon Clowney? Who thought we were going to go 2-14 that season? Nobody foresaw these things, and at the end of the day, things have been going, especially from a draft perspective, have been going right for us over the last 4 years. Regardless, picks and this have been missed. It's premier players that we have gotten over the previous years that we never would have even thought of getting. You know what I'm saying? That we couldn't even expect that shit into existence even if we wanted to.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that 2014 season, man, I ain't gonna lie. I wish I really had been on the YouTube scene then, because I kid you not, when you said who would have predicted that we was going to go 2-14, I didn't know we was going to go 2-14, but I was sitting here telling everybody that I knew. I was like, man, if y'all sitting here believing in Schaub, y'all gonna be disappointed. And I'm saying this as a diehard Texans fan, and this was before the year had started. I'm like, man, I don't see it in Schaub. The last time I felt good about Schaub doing anything good was that rushing touchdown that he had against Miami to win it for us. That was the last time I felt good about anything related to Matt Schaub.
But it's like we keep saying, man. It's this is a new year, man. It's we have no idea what's gonna happen, man, with Kane, and I mean it's kind of fun, but at the same time it's nerve wracking because we with Rick we at least had a general understanding, well, sort of, but I mean we have no idea. We have no clue what they plan on doing. Him and Bill could be doing all kinds of crazy shit in the back, and we don't know about it. But I mean, it's
so much interesting, Ray.
Yeah,
back to what you're saying.
So wrong.
It's just so interesting.
Yeah,
it is, dude. It's crazy how much. I guess this has run just in the past few months. I mean, it's insane, man. I mean, we could go anywhere.
Stop it, bro. I can't even sip my water, bro. Man, these people here about to be mad at me.
Everything we know about O'Brien, if everything we know about O'Brien, he's probably got a wish list and a for what he needs list, and I'm more than certain they're trying to work through that one.
Yeah,
I think he needs to be able to have. Oh, go ahead, Hector. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought that was Hector. I thought that was Hector. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Duck Scout.
Well, that's one thing I like about our coaches being at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
I love that because they're getting that up close look at these young guys that they normally wouldn't get.
True.
So there may be some guys who end up falling. No, actually, scratch that. There are going to be guys that fall because every single year there's some first round prospect everybody loves that ends up falling to the second or third.
Cunningham, Zach
man,
Cunningham.
I checked out some tape on Alex Wynn, bro. I mean, that dude Wynn.
I did not think Zach Cunningham would make it to the beginning of the second round at all. And
who you telling? I was saying that shit from jump.
I didn't think he'd make it that far. I thought he was the best linebacker in the class.
The fact that Gerard Davis got taken from the Lions at 15, 16. Well, he got taken.
Yeah, that was outrageous.
In that area was crazy.
Bro, the fact that Raekwon McMillan from Ohio State went before him.
Oh my God, that's true. Facts.
That shit there was wild. But that's what I'm saying. You never know what teams are looking at. You never know what they're really thinking, and so we can speculate all day, and speculation is fun. Unless you fucking, I saw somebody talking about Mel Kiper earlier in his 100,000 fucking drafts he does every fucking offseason. I can't stand that fucking dude. I saw somebody talking about he said that Deshaun wouldn't be a first round talent. That's why I say don't. Y'all can listen to Talking Heads if you want to.
He probably just mad. He probably got impotent problem. He probably impotent, bro.
Hey, he got something going on with that fucking hairdo. What's that? What do you call that? That Dewey be rocking, man.
That road game ain't working no more for that boy.
That boy looks like a boy from the Big Bang Theory with that hairdo.
Yeah, that boy be looking crazy. Though.
He needs to take a page out of fucking Mike Mayock. I like how Mike Mayock does it. He waits to a few days before and drops his predictions.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper hairdo looks like the Shredder helmet.
There's like a bunch of teenagers out there don't know what the hell you talking about.
Oh man,
see, but that's why I like what you said about Mike Mayock, bro. Because Mike Mayock
looks like a guy named Mel Kiper.
All of them, bro. Because Mike Mayock, he actually make his like he keeps it up to date every time. So he got his pre-Senior Bowl, his after the Senior Bowl, and everything else. So that's why I like Mike Mayock. Man.
He's probably the most notable of everybody. But at the end of the day, man, and King Foker, bro, just stop, bro. I've already admitted my time is up on my hair, bro. Don't come for me. I already know what's up.
Don't come for me if I ain't seeing for you, man.
Like at the end of the day, bro, we're talking about my hair, bro. I'm trying to get the Texans right
Listen
now.
to this. Hey,
y'all want to get to the roast session, and we'll line it up and get your ass. As a matter of fact, you don't even have a damn Abby of yourself. Matter of fact, you got me on Instagram, and that ain't even your real picture. It's some picture of some other soccer player. So let's just go ahead and we'll go put your face on it. And I swear to God, I'm gonna go.
What's up, Steve? Man.
There's a question in the chat said who would win in a fist fight, Mel Kiper or Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless whoop his ass.
Hey, I'll take Skip Bayless on that one.
No, come on, Skip.
Bayless run like 10 miles a day.
No word. Hey, look.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless was a high school athlete, man. I don't know if Kiper got that on his resume.
Skip Bayless gonna have Shannon Sharp in the back, hyping him up too.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next topic. What it was? Skip gonna be like, so I had to hit him with the left and the right. He thought he was with the shit.
I got 500. I got 500. If Skip win that fight, he gonna pull out a backwood and a yak in the
with the gangster music going behind him with the shades on.
But look, Skip better stay in shape. He better be running all that shit he be talking. Somebody gonna get after his motherfucking ass. He better be able to run a good solid 10 miles. Shit.
Hey, I want to address Ed, man, real quick. Because he had a question earlier that I didn't get to ask because y'all were asking some other questions, and he was talking about Aaron Rodgers being off of that team. First off, Aaron Rodgers has worked 10 wins by himself. Secondly, Mike McCarthy has been an abysmal coach for the last 6-7 years. He is so mediocre.
Like, I swear he's riding off the talents of Rodgers, bro.
Exactly. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Jordy Nelson being who they were, bro, they were in games constantly.
Because you seen what happened when he didn't have Aaron Rodgers, bro. His season looked like shit.
He couldn't adjust just like Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why. Man, okay, I see that, Steve. So, how do y'all feel about that guy? I mean, like I say, we don't know a whole lot about him. We kind of briefly mentioned on him. I can't even remember his damn name now. The little pickup that they made, that Brian Gaines made, basically the guy that was on the Jags, and I can't remember his name, but he ran a 4.3. The little practice squad guy that they just picked up. Do you guys know anything about him? Do you feel like he's
Wait, what's his name?
I can't even remember his fucking name right now, honestly. I want to say start with a fucking.
You talking about the dude that played with Clowney?
Yeah, he went to school with Clowney.
I haven't heard much about him, so I don't really know. I haven't really looked into him that much.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard about his measurables, but I hear he runs a 4.3. He's about 6'3", 6'4", decent hands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not really much, it's not really much we could talk about when it comes to him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit, Martavius Bryant.
That's basically.
So how? I mean,
in a nutshell, that's who he's kind
not
of
even close, right?
So I'm just saying. So if it came down to it, and you talking about a last roster spot on the Texans, somehow, some way they finagle Martavius Bryant, to the roster. Who do you stick with? Do you stick with the new guy who played with Clowney, or do you go with Martavius?
I mean, I think naturally you give it to Martavius because he has more NFL experience.
Okay.
But I'm not saying you don't have him as an option because I honestly think we need to carry between 6 to 7 receivers this year and cut down on these running backs and this fullback position if you're not going to fully utilize it.
Yeah, I say fuck it. I say you give both of them a shot and you just run all streaks all the time.
Straight nine.
That shit work for Seattle, believe it. That shit work for Seattle sometimes. So shit, they just might.
Man, I'm just saying, man.
Hey, all fast corners, that's it. Or all fast receivers, that's it.
Yeah.
Will Fuller, Martavis Bryant, and that dude who played with Clowney.
Yeah, look, that's all we need. Look, fuck it. Get rid of Hopkins. He ain't fast enough. Fuck it.
Yeah. Trade Hopkins for Tyreek Hill.
Hey, fellas, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap it up, man. Shit, it was a good round table on my part, but I'm going to go on and get on up out of here. It was a pleasure once again doing it with y'all, but I got to go ahead and get in bed, watch this movie with baby.
Man, do your thing, man. We already know how it go. Appreciate you following through, Wink.
Already, man. Y'all take care.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit that description box below, man, and go subscribe to Wink channel, man. If y'all like what he talking about, man, all the Texans Tubers. As a matter of fact, the links are in the description below, so don't act like you don't know. It says so on the little fucking ticker that's scrolling across there. So I know some of y'all can't read, so I'm gonna tell y'all what it says. And it says to go to the description box below and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Man, oh yeah, we ain't even get it.
Before I go, King Foker, suck a dick.
All right, King Foker. Shout out to King Foker.
King Foker in the house. Hey, that's what's up.
Hey, Ray, what round do you think Isaiah Wynn might fall to, bro?
The way he looked in the Senior Bowl,
ain't no falling.
Dog, he ain't falling. He's rising.
All
man.
positive for him, bro.
He went from a late third to an early second in one game. That's what I'll tell you.
That's cool. I mean, because the reason, and my reason for asking is because I know some scouts, they just like with Forrest Lamp, they were saying he was too small, too short, and out of position, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you're an O-line guy, so I just figured I'd ask. Fuck it.
Dog, if he falls to the early third round and we don't get him, I quit being a Texans fan. I'll just tell you that right now. It's bad.
I'm done.
Like I can't even.
You heard it here.
I always put it on it.
Okay. All right. Fuller has another 2 years under contract.
Two with an option of 3.
Hey,
Steve, man, I appreciate the love. Steve, man, that's what it is, man. And shout out to Steve J, who always showing love to the sauce, man. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate it.
I don't know about y'all, but every time I see Elijah Duncan, man, that shit just gets me hyped.
Man, what? I'm telling you, man, people don't understand. Elijah's probably the most underrated, underappreciated talent in the NBA, though. People don't realize how good that dude really was. He's one of those talents that could have played in any generation and been a fucking superstar.
See, and that's what my last night stream was about, because we were sitting here talking about who's really the GOAT, Jordan or LeBron, and we went back and Elijah definitely had his mention in there as one of the top 5 players to be the GOAT. So that's somebody that and not even being a homer. It's just straight facts.
Yeah, that dude was a beast, dog. The dude had 2 quadruple doubles, dog. How do you fucking do that, dog? That's crazy.
But he did to David Robinson. I just, oh my God.
Man, what?
David Robinson wins MVP. Next night he comes out and makes him look like a little bitch. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, they know that was Elijah MVP, man. They're giving that shit away.
Yeah, it was.
Already, man. I appreciate it, Steve Davis. I got a question, man. I got a question for the round table. So we gonna do some super. We're going to do some reaching. Not super reaching. Let's not go too far. Let's not go Shaquan Barkley far. But who, what kind of higher rated, maybe let's talk about second round, maybe, early second round. Who do you guys see, or who do you think would be a steal falling to the third round that you would love for the Texans to have a shot at?
To the third? Let's see.
Isaiah Wynn. That's the only one that I can think of. And not even being a dick rider, bro. That's just Isaiah Wynn is that dude that we saw the talent. He was projected to go in late third, and now he's coming, and now he's going up to the early second. If he falls and he's there, we better grab him, because if we don't, then there's serious problems in that organization, man.
I forget that dude's name. I got him in my Armstrong's. He outside linebacker. If he could fall to the early third. Man, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Isaiah. I like Isaiah Wynn, but my thing with these linebackers, it's one thing to be fast, and then it's another to be able to run sideline to sideline and turn your hips and be able to cover underneath.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not to mention everyone else to go. Pass rusher.
Edman
can
asked
see,
me, do I trade into the second round for a good old lineman? That's iffy, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, you can pull the trigger on that, especially if you
could
get
if
into
you
the
wanted
late
to,
second
but
round.
In the second round,
it depends on who it is, though.
If it's Lynn in the second round, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, if it's Win in the second round, I'll fire that shit off. But we're not talking about any just old Smo Joe ass second round offensive guard, bro.
So hold on. So real quick, the question was who would we pick up second round if we were gonna move up? Are we talking mid second, early second?
Who do you think has the opportunity to fall to the third round that you'd like us to get it?
Deshaun Elliott.
Deshaun Elliott.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Deshaun Elliott either.
I like Elliott, but to be honest, man, I like that safety from Bama a lot better, man. Ronnie, what's his last name?
Ronnie Harrison.
Ronnie Harrison will not make it to the third round, bro. Or he won't even make it to the late second.
What's somebody talking about?
No, I thought you just said. If we were trading up to the early second, I thought that's what you just said.
No, if somebody from like a second rounder will fall to the third round.
Mm-hmm. Somebody talking about a tackle from Delaware. I'm not familiar with the tackle from Delaware. Do any of you guys know who that is?
That's man. Who said that? That I'm not even going to entertain that one.
I don't know that King.
I know exactly who he's talking about, man. No, come on, dog.
Man. Matter of fact, Ray, we didn't get a chance to get your opinion. We talked about that a little bit. How do you feel about, because the Broncos have basically got Talib up for trade? How would you feel about the Texans making a move on that? Do you think it would be a wise decision, or what do you think the chances of that happening are?
Okay. Let's see. How old is he and what's his contract?
That'll be my first two questions. T.Y. Hilton if we sign him, and that's gonna be gonna end up costing us 2 games against the Colts. I like him. I like his skill set, but he's old and he's getting slower. He's basically a more physical J-Joe.
Okay, Black Ray. Ray, because you weren't here with us.
Ray or not, if it's the truth, it's the truth.
Man, I feel you, but I'm trying to highlight Ray because Ray missed out on some things, and I want to let him get caught up. So, like I say, his contract is 11. I think he's due 11 million this year. We were comparing it earlier because I think Kareem is getting like 9 this year.
Yeah. So, who would I be against it? Okay. 2 schools of thought. What I think they'll do versus what I would, if it was me, would I do it? If it was me, I would definitely take a look at it. I need more dogs on this defense, man. And that man is a dog. Let's just be honest with you. Yeah, man, I don't care who he fights. I don't care. That man, he brings a swagger that we need, period. Yes. So I would definitely entertain it. As far as them doing it, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, exactly.
I highly doubt it. Just because, not because just his play is pretty similar to what, like Darren just said, his play is pretty similar to J-Joe. He can man up a little better. That's the only difference there is. Realistically speaking, the way the Denver coaches coached the Senior Bowl, I don't want no one from Denver. Unless it's Von Miller, dude. I don't want no one from that. I mean, because they got their asses handed to them, plain and simple, man. And they even had the better roster, in my personal opinion. But
that's all because of Coach O'Brien.
Oh, dude, OB put it on.
You gotta coach it better. He coached it better.
I see Steve J asking if we move into the 4-3. I haven't heard anything officially about it. I've heard a bunch of speculation, but
Rack runs more 4-3 than he does 3-4. He runs more 4-3 wide than he does 3-4 at all.
But our base normally still is that.
I mean, I think it'll be a switch around. Like he'll be switching it up every game.
Yes, Rack will do something.
Edman said, Parrish, what's your thoughts on Josh Allen? Josh Allen, bro, he looked good in the Senior Bowl. I feel like that he really set the tone on why he should be the first one coming out of the draft, honestly, like the first quarterback. But there's still other quarterbacks that he got to compete with. And if he does great with his interviews while he's at the combine, then he might be the first quarterback taken off of the board, honestly, because he put together a good, solid performance against a stout ass defense, bro. So that's what I think about Josh Allen.
If anyone helped their draft stock in this Senior Bowl, it was definitely Allen, and the other guy I would say Penny.
Yeah,
the running back.
Yeah,
Both of them helped their stock tremendously in the Senior Bowl. Alex Kappa, his stock went up. Isaiah Wynn, his stock went up. Davenport's stock, to me, honestly, kind of stayed the same. I know he made an impact, but I mean, everyone was kind of projecting him mid-first anyway. So, I think he kind of just leveled out and just showed that, his hype was worth it. You know what I mean? So,
okay,
that's just my opinion.
Okay. So, like I say, what we gonna do before we slide up out of here? If y'all got any more questions that y'all want to ask, we'll take a Q&A session. Like I say, do you guys have any other specific topics that you want to touch on, that you want to speak on before we get in? Like anything you want to throw out there? Maybe ask the other roundtable guys or get the opinion of the people in the chat or anything like that.
Yeah, I got a question. I've got a question.
All right.
And I've already kind of gone over it before, but I want to get everyone's take on this. And it's more along the lines of considering the picks that we have in 2019. If there's only 3 people that I'd move up in the first round to get. It'd be McGlinchey, Nelson, and Fitzpatrick. That's it. If one of those 3 fell, let's say to like a number 11 to Miami's pick, would you trade your first rounder in 2019, your latest 3rd round this year, and your latest 6th round this year for that first round pick at 11th overall?
Yes, without hesitation. Yes.
I think I pulled the trigger.
If
we already talked.
I would. Because we can't pass up on one of those guys. Those guys just instant boosted franchise potentially players. So I don't see us
exactly. They instantly make a day 1 starting position.
Exactly.
They could easily be on your team for the next 5 to 8 years.
But though, Ray, if you do make that move, because if I know you, odds are it's going to be, if Nelson's still on the board, you're probably taking Nelson.
If any one of those 3 were on the board, I'd take any of them. I'd take any of the 3 that were on. If they were there at 11,
any of those 3.
What 3? Any of those 3.
My what's name was going out. You say which 3?
McGlinchey, Fitzpatrick, or Nelson.
Yeah, okay. I definitely agree.
If any of those 3 are there, would you pull the trigger? Because you got to think about this. Keep in mind,
I would. Hands down.
Yeah, your 2019 draft pick, you got 2 second rounders. That could easily, fill the void for that first rounder you left. Plus, you could probably, if you really want someone in that first round that following year, you could probably package those 2 seconds and whatever compensatory picks just to move up in the first. I'm just saying.
I made that question so many times, Ray. It's ridiculous, and it's crazy that we're all sitting here agreeing on, that we would make that trade. You know what I mean? Like, I can't begin to tell you, how many times I've been called crazy and all that other shit, but I'm glad you brought that shit up.
It's not you were crazy for trading up. It was crazy because who you were trading up for was the problem.
Yeah. You wanted to trade up.
I'm not talking about with y'all. That's
okay.
That's a whole nother issue. I could give 2 fucks about that. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about like everybody else. You know what I'm saying, from my other social media platforms and whatnot. They like, bro, you tripping? You would trade away your 2019 pick? I said if I was in Rick Smith's shoes when we traded up to get Watson, if I'm being honest, knowing what we know now, especially knowing what we know now, I would have traded that 2019 pick instead of, trading the 25th overall pick in 2018's pick. Because if we'd have made that trade, we would be picking at number 4 right now.
Yeah, but hey, could have, man.
Everybody,
Man, Darren, I got a question, man. I didn't get a chance to speak with you about it. So I heard you've been making some, doing some testing, some trades and things on the sim. activity.
Yeah, buddy.
So I want to.
Me too.
I want to know. You know, say, have you come across something, an interesting perspective or an interesting idea that you would like to, you know, maybe share with Sauce Nation, or you just still just playing around with it, trying to see what's what?
I mean, don't get me wrong, and like I'm playing like these mock simulators that me and Ray do. The information is highly inaccurate right now because, you know, just like last year, you know, and when I was doing these mock drafts and whatnot, Obi Melifano and all these other guys were falling to the 7th round, and we all know that they win in the 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? But as it got closer towards draft day and whatnot, you know, guys start going and falling where they actually would go. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as that goes, the information and all that it'll be more solid once we get closer and closer to the draft and all that. And we'll be able to give you, you know, a more definitive answer as far as that goes.
Okay.
But I mean, as far as trades, most GMs, you know, in the top, you know, most GMs in the top 10, they probably gonna want to hold on to that pick. You're gonna have to really come up off of something in order to, you know, get that. So as far as the top 10 goes, nah, I don't see that happening. But if you're talking about maybe between 12 and 15. Hell, maybe even between 12 and 18, you just might be able to squeeze in there. And like I said, if we can bust that trade at 11 and get either Nelson or Glynchy, not to mention, you know, if we're able to sign Norwell and say Nate Solder, shit, you talking about a all-pro line next year, and I'm not even bullshitting. You know, like, don't get me wrong. When it comes down to the O-line, my philosophy is a lot different from everybody else's. I'm not with the whole you got to have Xavier Suafilo type of lineman because they fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? You don't need athletic guys. Hold on. As an offensive lineman, I don't get me wrong, unless you're calling a screenplay, you're not supposed to be doing a lot of running. You block the man in front of you. You know, of course, there are angles and all that other jazz and whatnot that go to it. But, you know what I'm saying? My thing is with linemen, you know, I would rather have, you know, linemen that's balanced and that can do both. Preferably more run blocking than pass blocking because, in my opinion, if you're able to run the ball more effectively, it'll open up your whole offense and the pass game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how I see it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to echo off that, man, when it comes to those mock draft simulators, like Darren said, it's way early in the game, man. I mean, they don't even have the compensatory picks on there yet.
So,
yeah, I mean, you got to take everything that you see on there with a grain of salt, but also if you do your own prospecting, your own scouting, along with doing that, you get a general consensus of where everyone thinks that particular prospect is at. For an example, it seems like every mock draft simulator I do, for whatever damn reason, Quentin Nelson falls to the 11th pick almost every damn time.
For some odd reason, he doesn't make it past 16, which is Baltimore's.
No,
if he makes it to 16, not to cut you off, Ray, sorry about that. If he makes it to number 16, I can guarantee you the Ravens. If you guys haven't heard of firstpick.com, go check it out. It's a cool little mock draft simulator and whatnot, and you guys will see exactly what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Quentin Nelson, he doesn't make. I kid you not, he does not make it past Baltimore.
And he makes it on every mock draft simulator I've done. He's always made it to number 11, Miami, and he always gets picked by Miami. It's anywhere between number 11 and number 15. For whatever reason, in between there, he gets picked. But for what other, I don't know the reason why, but if that man is there at 11 and I'm Brian Gaine, I need to make a serious phone call to Miami and say, look, this is what I can get. Because I'll be more than happy to give him my first rounder next year, one of my thirds this year, one of my sixths this year, and hell, I'll even throw in a player to sweeten the pot, like, I don't know,
CJ Fedorowicz,
Kareem Jackson or CJ Fedorowicz or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but I would do everything I could to move. I mean, I'm telling you right now, out of all the linemen in this draft, and everyone here knows. Well, maybe not everyone knows, but I'm a big, huge fan of Isaiah Wynn. In my personal opinion, behind Nelson and behind McGlinchey, he's the third best lineman in this entire draft, and I don't even blink at that.
Hey, Ray, let me ask you something. Which lineup would you rather go with? McGlinchey, say Nelson, Nick Martin. Who would we probably have at right guard? I don't know who we probably have at right guard, and Julian Davenport being your right tackle. Or would you rather go Nate Soder as your left tackle, Quentin Nelson, Nick Martin, Andrew Norwell, and then Davenport?
Okay, so my perfect lineup in a perfect scenario, if the free agents come to me that I want, along with the draft falls to me how I want it, my draft would be pretty simple, or my line would be pretty simple. In a perfect scenario, even though I love Nelson a lot, I would probably go with Flint as my left tackle.
Damn, Mike is that?
Hey, hold on, say that again. It's cutting out.
It's not Hector.
Darren, you do shit.
What the hell you got going on over there?
It sounds like someone's taking a fork and scraping it across a plate.
Yeah.
There's no more food on that plate. All right, it's done.
In a perfect scenario, I would take the Glenn left tackle. Damn, dog, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Dan, you gotta fix your situation. I'm gonna have to kick you up out of here. That shit sound crazy as fuck, dog.
Mute, Darren. Mute your shit.
He just stuck it back in his pocket and went to doing some shit again.
Yep.
There you
It
go.
is.
All right, there you go.
All right, there you go.
I'll ask something. Am I crazy for thinking we should probably just stay pat this year? That way we can have those extra picks next year. Am I crazy for thinking that? Because
No. It's again, this whole thing is prefaced on if one of those three guys is there, you do it. If not, you stay put. That's my opinion. You don't. Seriously, unless you absolutely fall in love with someone, I just don't see if one of those three guys are not there. Those are the three safest picks in this entire draft. If you move up and get someone like, I don't know, someone who's possibly suspect that has the ability to be good but probably won't be good. I don't know, like Brad Price or something like that. Is it like a guard/center from Ohio State who's getting a lot of love that I'm not very impressed with? I don't know. If you did something like that, I would be like, oh, that was a wrong move. But realistically, if McGlinchey, Fitzpatrick, or Nelson are there at 11, I would take a strong, long look at it.
Okay.
And again, to go back to my original question, or what Darren was asking me, I would go McGlinchey at left tackle, Norwell at left guard, Martin at center. I would draft Isaiah Wynn to play right guard, and Julian Davenport would be my right tackle.
Okay. I like that lineup a lot.
Okay, so I got a question here. We got two more things I want to cover before we get up out of here. One is a very impending, important situation that we have yet to address. Clowney's got to get paid. All right. So, what are your feelings on that? How do you see the Clowney situation playing? And I saw somebody earlier say something about he wants $113 million. I hadn't seen that.
I don't know where he got 113 million.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that, so that sounded a little outlandish to me. But I want to know you guys and your opinions on the Clowney getting paid situation.
Yeah, y'all go first.
If we want to keep him, we're gonna have to pay him. But don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna break the bank, for him. Because I agree personally with what Ray been saying this whole time. Yeah, he's been producing, but you can't ignore the fact that he was hurt those first 2 years. Now, I know they weren't his fault. I know they weren't, but you just don't dish out $100+ million for 3 years of production. if he'd had 4 solid years, maybe I would consider it. If he didn't, you know what I'm saying? If he'd had all 5 of his seasons like how he had his last 2, hands down, I wouldn't even be thinking about it. I would pay him, but the mere fact of the matter is, he wasn't. You know, in these last 2 years is all we really have to bank on. So if you're going to give him $100+ million, you're basically saying you're going to have to play like how you've been playing the last 2 years, and that's not guaranteed.
I mean, but nothing's guaranteed. But then the potential that he could get better and improve and play even better than that could also happen. It could go both ways.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, I agree with that as well.
My thing about Clowney getting paid, I say we pay him now. Because let's say he goes, balls out, leads us. We have the #1 defense again, and he's our best player. He can ask for more money then. Now we can at least say, okay, yeah, you had a couple years where you were hurt a lot. We want to kind of protect ourselves. We can, we have some leverage. But if we wait and he dominates, then we have no choice.
Like Mario Williams situation all over again.
Yeah. Like Hopkins. Like we paid him at the right time, because if we had waited and Odell got paid, we would ended up having to top that.
Yeah. True. And that's why I see people talking about Donald and Mack. They about to get paid, so it would be a wise idea to pay Clowney first.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the only reason, my only thing with that is if you give him his big contract now, you got to ask yourself, you know, how much money are we gonna have to work with in free agency and all that.
Well, I mean, you can do one of those deals every year.
Who needs to be resigned?
Well, these are good problems to have, honestly. We have too many talented players that we have to try to figure out a way to keep. That's a fantastic problem to have. But we have to focus on our key guys. And Clowney is a key guy, especially in run defense.
Right.
Darren, are you buying drugs on the stream? You sound like you over there making a drug deal, babe. That sound like
give me my money, bro.
Y'all hear shots fired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if I hear some gunshots, I'm just gonna kick you out the stream. I ain't finna be no witness to no shit. Look,
yeah, that's what.
Stop snitching.
Fake.
Stop snitching. No snitching.
Yeah, I feel you. Nope, we ain't pulling no 50 cent moves around here.
Yeah, look, but so that's the cloudy thing, man. And while Darren buys his drugs, I got one more thing. One more question. And this was not so much Texans related, but it's something that has to be spoken on. Super Bowl's coming up, man. Give me the prediction. What's the score?
Oh man.
31-24 Patriots win.
Okay.
I got 24-24 Eagles win.
24-27 Eagles.
Okay. I didn't hear your parents repeat that one. He was a little bit talked over a little bit.
As usual. 28-24 Eagles win.
Okay.
I got 24-28. I mean, not 24. I mean, 27-23 Eagles.
Okay. Heck, what you got, Heck?
Mr. World Series ring.
I'll probably go 28-24 Eagles.
Okay.
I'm surprised a lot of people are picking the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I just cannot see Tom Brady losing to Nick Foles.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I don't look at that matchup. I look more at the defensive matchup.
Yeah.
Well, I get that. The Eagles have a really talented roster, but to me, it comes down to quarterback, because that's the most important position.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaguars had more talent on their team than the Patriots did, especially with their defense.
The refs helped them out, but that's another story.
I mean, but regardless, it came down to, can Blake Bortles score?
Well, I mean, if we being honest, like I just said, the refs fucked the Jackson. As much as it pains me to have to say that, the refs did fuck them, because if the referees weren't quick to blow their whistle, just like how they was last year in Mexico City when DeAndre Hopkins clearly fucking scored, but they quickly blew the whistle dead and he wasn't out of bounds. If the refs don't blow that whistle when Miles Jack recovered that fumble, he scoops and scores, and that's a 17 lead over the Pats. Well, Pats don't come back and win that game.
Well, here's my thing about that. The refs did make horrible calls, but I don't remember the last time I watched a football game and there wasn't at least one call where you're like, what the fuck are they seeing?
Yeah.
And also, if you look at what the Jags did, especially before half, they played not to lose. They didn't play to win. They played not to get beat.
Which and this is something that I want to bring about. I'm gonna talk a little more about it, when I do my video personally. But I just want to know, why do teams that get a lead on New England, it's like when they come out in the second half. Don't get me wrong, I understand Bill Belichick is the master of adjusting, but it's just certain things that you can't account for all the time. And a lot of the shit that was working against New England in that first half, I'm just sitting back like, I know Bill Belichick coached them to watch, to be aware for this, and they're still getting it,
Well,
second half, I don't understand why they weren't more aggressive, and like the fourth and one, I don't understand that. You're in the playoffs, you're coaching to go to the Super Bowl, and you punt it, knowing that you're going against Mr. Comeback himself.
At the end of the day, bro, what they was doing at the end of the day is that they knew that the Patriots at that point, they had to attack, they had to do everything, so they were playing lackadaisical, backing off of them. Was the smart thing to do, so they ripped them underneath and kept getting consistent first downs and building that momentum. And that was it. And then they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They stopped Fournette and put it on Bortles, and Bortles was not ready to beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on, but I could even argue that point, because there was a few plays that when I was just looking at the Jags formation, I'm like, they got the leverage to the outside. If you that halfback toss played out of the shotgun that they ran earlier in the game, I was wondering when they was gonna call that again, because like I said, just looking at how New England's, well, first and foremost, how the Jags were coming out, I'm just looking at it like they have them out leveraged on this side and they're running to the other side. I'm not understanding that. It's like they're trying to lose the game or something.
Well, the thing about the Jaguars' offense is it's extremely lopsided, or at least this last year it was, because we're going to run it down your throat all game and then let our defense shut you down.
Yeah,
they were basically the 2012 Texans. If that's it, then
like the Jaguars do not trust Bortles. They didn't trust him all year long. They put it on their run game and their defense. Now,
I mean, naturally, when you draft a running back like Fournette, I would too.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: Bill Belichick, like you said, he's the master of adjustments. When he going into halftime, you knew in the second half he was going to come out and he was going to have a game plan on how to shut that shit down and make you beat him in a different way. They didn't do that. They couldn't do that. They tried with Bortles, but it just wouldn't work.
I mean, they could have. I mean, if you ask me, that game was the perfect monologue for Bill O'Brien to just have his little emoji face come out of nowhere and say, "You got to coach it better." Because no, like for real. Because I'm not a coach. I'm not anywhere close to being associated with the NFL. But that shit stressed me the fuck out, and I'm not a fan of either team. Like it did, because I'm sitting there just looking like, oh my gosh. How are y'all not?
Don't let it stress you, man. Look. Stress kills, man. Don't let shit that's irrelevant stress you out like that. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't the Texans, don't let them get you, man.
My reason for bringing that up is I'm like, man, that stressed me out. But if that's how it is with me, I can only imagine how actual NFL coaches who are coaching the game, I can only imagine how they feel. But Boss only on Doug Marrone. The whole team needs to just look at him and be like, put your motherfucking head back down, because you could have called a more aggressive game.
Darren, somebody asked a question. They say, when you get angry, do you punch your electronics?
The fuck kind of question is that? I play my electronics. What?
I mean, some people get mad and they punch it when they get mad. So I'm just curious. I mean, that's actually, it's interesting. I mean, if you know, when people be all the way into some shit, you know,
I'm not Gronk spiking nothing at my TV. All right. All right, let's get that out in the open. I'm not Gronk spiking nothing towards my TV outside of my.
Hey, did everyone get their prediction out?
Yeah, I was still waiting for you. I was waiting for the Jag stuff. Then I was going to ask you, personally, because I didn't hear your prediction yet. So let's go ahead and give us what you got, Ray.
No, man, my prediction is 0 fucks to 0 fucks. I could care less about either team.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm talking about. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I probably ain't even go watch it, but
I'm not.
I really don't watch the Super Bowl a lot. I'll catch a play or two sometime.
I'll be working on the Super Bowl.
Hey, I just want to throw this out there real quick. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna save it for my video, but fuck it. I feel like we should go ahead and address this shit now. If you look at the last 5 years, dog, can y'all believe? Actually, if I told y'all that majority of the players that were like from an X team, the Texans have had more players go to the Super Bowl once they left than any other team in the league.
Oh, I believe it.
Man, Steve J, I appreciate the love.
Steve J, come through.
Steve J, I appreciate the love, man.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
Brandon with the Akeem.
Oh yeah, it should pop up. Where
with the Akeem.
Where the Akeem is supposed to pop up, man. Look.
Dream didn't pop up, man.
I took out just like a rocket. I'm gone. I lied you one King.
There you go. Everybody look that boy Dream look. Make me want to go play some basketball. I probably fucking tearing Achilles and shit. I'll be out of there. Look, trying to dunk like a nigga used to. Trying to just do old basic Akeem right there. I'll be out of there. And they be like, what happened to Honcho and the Sauce, man? I'm gonna be on stream with a cast leg propped up on the fucking desk and shit. They gonna be like, damn.
Hey, we got a former Texan in this Super Bowl for the Patriots, Eric Lee.
Shit, what about Brooks?
Yeah,
Brandon Brooks. That's what I said. I was just about to go name it. Brandon Brooks for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Connor Barr, if I'm not mistaken, he's still over there with the Eagles.
I thought Connor Barwin left. No, I thought Connor Barwin left.
Connor Barwin left mid-season.
With the Rams.
Okay, cool. Yeah, show this. He is with the Rams. He was with the Rams. Okay, scratch that. My bad. You got Brooks Reed this year. Last year for the Falcons, you had Brooks Reed. Outside linebacker for the Falcons. Keyshawn Martin, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's still on the Patriots roster. If you go back a little further, it's two other guys. They names don't come to me right now. I'll have that all once I do my video later. But this shit is just crazy, and this is all the more reason why I say us as the fans, we are able to actually say, Rick Smith, you did this to us. Because players, I find it funny that guys leave the Texans and all of a sudden, outside of Andre Johnson, everybody who's left the Texans went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's unfortunate, man, but I mean, it's just kind of the way things work. It just happens. There's only so many teams, you know what I mean? And shit, motherfuckers are trying to upgrade generally. Either they gonna get paid or they gonna upgrade. So you have a good chance of, unless you go to the fucking Browns, of ending up in a fucking Super Bowl.
Down there, everybody who was old that used to play for us, in the Gary Kubiak era, when he went to Denver, damn near everybody who used to play for us, they went to Denver and won a Super Bowl.
Man, White Persuasion, I appreciate the love, man. So this one's for Steve. Yeah. That boy Steve and set it out, man.
One thing
I'm not out there catching A's from robo-holes, are y'all?
One thing I've noticed about our division, it seems like every other team in our division seems to be taken from us, but we don't seem to be taken from them.
Yeah, you make a
don't get me started.
Like they be
philosophy all the way down to game tactics, bro. I promise you, it's true. Because the Jags, if you look at how the Jags constructed their team, it's an exact replica of how we was in 2012. I kid you not.
Go ahead, Doug Scout.
I mean, like looking at Tennessee, they were going after Boye hard. They took Vrabel from us. All these teams in our division, they focus on us because they know we're the best team in division. So they're trying to weaken us so they can get to the top of division, make the playoffs easier.
Well, technically, the Jags have already done it, and that's sickening.
Well, I don't give the Jaguars 100% credit for us like being bad this year. I don't give them credit for that.
No. And what I mean by that is
reasons that are.
Yeah.
My reason for saying that the Jags actually did do it to us because, like it or not, AJ Boye, he made a huge difference with their secondary. If you'd have named any other second fiddle type of cornerback to play with Jalen Ramsey, yeah, they may have produced due to that D line, but they wouldn't have performed at that level of what AJ Boye was playing at.
Well, see, that's one of my biggest things is I agree with that because that's why I'm such a big advocate for stealing Allen Robinson away from Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
And I know Vontae Davis ain't all that, but I'd like to know a little bit of inner workings of the Colts. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like this. I mean, like someone just said on the chat, man. I mean, we still ain't replaced John Simon. He went to Indianapolis.
But he's an inside linebacker versus playing outside. If you ask me.
Yeah. But my thing is this, man. Like I said, I definitely agree with the Allen Robinson situation. And definitely, like I say, stealing some talent because we've lost so much, and not even just talent, but information about the Texans within the division. You know what I mean? Just with Vrabel going to Tennessee, I mean, we're going to have to change up a lot of the language that we use, a lot of the things like that. There's going to be, he's familiar with the inner workings. He's quite familiar with what B.O.B. does, So that's going to require the Texans to switch up a couple. It's not going to require a complete overhaul, but it's going to require some shit to switch up a little bit. So I definitely am agreeing with you that we should definitely try to steal some talent from some other teams within the division.
Would be nice.
But like I say, yeah, man. So I just want to say we had a nice long stream here. We definitely put in some work, and I want to say thank you to everybody who showed some love. I want a special shout out to Steve J for showing some super sauce chat love, White Persuasion for showing some super sauce chat love. I want to say thank you to everybody in the round table. I know Wink caught out earlier. I know Paris had to joke out, but I want to say Hector, Darren, Ray, Tenny was here earlier, Duck Scout.
I'm still here, motherfucker.
Oh, you still in the mix? Oh, okay, up here. I thought you joked out, baby. Look, hey, look like cold world. I'm just saying.
That go, bro.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
But man, like I say, man, I just want to say thank you. Like I say, man, this is when you guys take the time to fuck with the flavor, man. Like I say, people don't realize that time is effort and the energy that, it's not just what happens on camera. You know what I'm saying? All right, boy, Steve J. Man, Steve, look, we're going to have to go about 10 more minutes at least, y'all. So y'all going to have to stick with me. You know what I'm saying? We can't end it quite like that. But I do want to just, like I say, take a few minutes to just say thank you, man. Because, like I say, they've been fucking with me consistently, and they can be doing their own things. They can be dedicating time to their own channel. And so I want people to understand. Got to stop and dance. Okay, I do my little dance. But
the boy says Steve is Honcho's sugar daddy. Oh, my God.
Stop.
Damn.
And White Persuasion came back.
White Persuasion back though with the man. Look, y'all got me. Look, hey, we about to get a new chair in the sauce, so y'all ain't
sugar
got.
Daddy off.
So y'all ain't got to motherfucking me hear all that squeaking and shit no more. We go get that's why all this shit go to a new sauce chair because this bitch be getting off my motherfucking nerves.
Took out just like a rocket. I'm gone.
Dance. Okay, but yeah, man, like I said, I want people to realize, I want people to understand, just because, and I encourage, and there's a couple other guys who have been doing some videos, but you guys got to understand something, man. To do this stuff, no, it's not construction work. It's not back-breaking labor, but it does take effort, man. And it's not just what you see on camera. It's the time spent off camera, researching, figuring things out, just studying and honing the craft, man. Oh, hold up, Duck's got in the mix. Hold up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Shit. Oh shit! Y'all motherfuckers got me out, man. I'm about to turn up, but I just I just want y'all to understand that, man. So I don't want anybody, look. We encourage y'all to do the same. I know a lot of people been asking about how to become a part of this thing. Man, all I'm asking y'all, man, is just put in a little bit of effort, dog. It's nothing but love, but respect the effort that these guys put in, not just with the sauce, but even on their own channels. Because like I said, a lot of these guys, they come in, they fuck with the flavor. They back door and do their own thing. Y'all gonna make me fucking lose some weight doing all my little dances. But like I say, man, we just gotta acknowledge that, man. I just want to say, just take the time to give a sincere thank you to each and everybody on the round table, even the ones who aren't here. But I just want to let y'all know sincerely from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate y'all, each and every one of y'all. And
anytime, Honcho, man.
Well, Darren, not you so much. But Aaron, I'm fucking with you, Darren. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you, Darren, man. I fuck with you the long way. You already know that, Darren. That ain't no thing, man. I like give you a hard time, man. You know I fuck with you, man. That ain't no thing. But like I say, man, I just want to say thank you to each and everybody who's been fucking with the sauce, fucking with the flavor. But like I said, we're gonna keep it going for a few more minutes. Y'all been showing some love, man. That's the least I could do for y'all. I don't want to just cut y'all off and y'all showing some love. So I mean, if there's any other topics, we had gotten to something and Wink just slid out, so we can't talk about the boxing topic because I think Tenny bounced out too because that was an interesting topic that we were on.
Hey, Honcho, real talk. I got some. I got something I really want to ask all the Sauce Nation and everybody at the round table. Seeing as how, like, how do you guys feel about every team in the division has reached the AFC Championship game at least once, except for the Texans?
You said, how do we feel about that?
Yeah, like not as a fan base, like how do you guys feel? That the Titans, they've made it to the AFC Championship game once.
It feels fucking horrible. We've come close. We haven't gotten there, and it feels horrible. We are one of the newer franchises in the league, but we're striving to be the team in the league, and to not even make the not even to make the conference. It hurts.
It does. No, the Titans though. The Titans haven't made it since we've been in existence. That was before we came.
No, that's not true. Because remember that year they went 13. Albert Haynesworth,
fucking J.
Man,
Ray
Steve
Ray.
showing buku. Man, Ray Ray, man, look. Man, look, y'all, I appreciate all that. Like I said, y'all look, you see, y'all low key trying to tell me y'all tired of hearing that squeaking and shit too. So y'all trying to up the flavor. Just hurry up, get this nigga a chair so he ain't got to hear all this fucking sound like he got some mice and shit running around his feet, squeaking and shit.
But one thing I did want to say is, I know I've only uploaded one video so far, but that's because I've had a lot of computer issues, and I'm almost done getting that cleaned up, so I will be uploading more soon.
Man, White City, White Mercedes, let's go.
Y'all got me crunk, man. I'm amped. I ain't seen Hakeem this much since shit. I haven't watched the highlight tape, man. Like, god damn. That's what's shaking, man. I appreciate, man. Wise, Ray, Steve, White Persuasion, man. I appreciate y'all, man. That's love, man. Cause like I said, I talk about, I know how hard it is to nowadays to earn $1. That's effort, that's energy, and the fact that y'all showing that.
Damn, White Persuasion came through again, dog.
Hey, good shit,
man. That's what's up. But so damn, I'm okay. So my
time. You may have to get a different clip, Honch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got another one. I think.
Give me some Clyde, dog. Give me some Clyde.
Some Clyde action, man. Hold on, let me see who I got in the thing. I have to pull it up on the other thingamajig. But man, so my thing is this though. We're young, yeah, and that's not necessarily an excuse because we've been dominating the division or we've been controlling the division for so long. And if these teams, especially like you look at the Jags, and they can go from worst to first, you know what I mean, literally, and almost go to the big game when they've been bottom feeders in the division for so fucking long. It kind of makes you question. But at the same time, though, when you're constantly losing and you're constantly getting those early picks, you're constantly getting those top 5 picks, you're gonna start to amass talent. Now it's about how you manage that talent.
Let's go. Another thing, bro.
No shit, man. Things that came through with the motherfucking goddamn, man. Y'all make me feel like it's my fucking birthday or something. What is today? Am I late? Am I? Drunk? What's going on? Goddamn, man.
Damn.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man. I
Honcho,
appreciate
this
you.
is a cushion, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Look,
Keep going, bro.
Yeah, man. Look, hey. We go.
My persuasion came back.
Let's go. Keep it going.
Oh,
Hey,
y'all
we might have. Hey, Honcho, I think they want another hour, or maybe another 2, bro.
Man, look, hey, y'all, if y'all love it, like I say, look, we'll keep it pumping. If y'all fucking with the flavor, man, we'll keep the flavor pumping, man. But like I say, just the fact that the Jags were allowed to be so bad for so long, not allowed, it is what it is, and the fact that they made a couple of moves. But they there's my little dance, man. Hold up, my arms get tired. But and then the fact that they just kind of leapt ahead of us. But we can talk about injuries. We can talk about when you're winning, and even though when you're only winning 9-7, that's not exceptional. And you're getting by basically with your defense in a lot of these games. It's just unfortunate. So I do feel kind of shitty about that. When now that you mention it, I really didn't think about it necessarily, but I was upset about the Jags, doing as well as they did. But another thing, which was interesting because Duck Scout, he sent some information a while back, basically saying that I don't know what their total amount of sacks was for the entire year. I don't recall, but with 28 of them being against the Colts and the Texans, I don't see a repeat of that quote unquote Saxonville. You know what I mean? That's where they ate. That's where the bulk of those numbers came from. They got to play against teams, like I say, let's just admit it. They played against Deshaun Watson for a half. And other than that, it was Yates and fucking Savage. You know what I mean? So of course they had a field day with that shit.
And then we all know the Colts offensive line is mediocre at best. Mm-hmm. So they gonna eat against them.
Oh shit!
Why? I'm gonna dance early. Just go ahead and get out the way. Man, I appreciate that. I'm sincerely serious about that, man. Like I say, look, y'all think I'm joking. Look, new chair coming soon, man. Yeah, man. Oh shit, man. Damn. Let me start loosening up. Let me get my dance ready.
Yeah, you might as well stand up or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm fixing to. I'm really finna have to get it in, man. I'm gonna have to come up with a new dance. I'm gonna need a new thing.
Hey, like somebody donates $100. Honcho's gonna get a fade.
Oh, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Nah, man, you can't mess with them Samson trades, though.
Man, look. That ain't not quite. Look. Father Time is gonna have to do his thing before they come all the way off. This might be my last go round. Look, the next haircut might be the last, so I'm trying to hold on to these motherfuckers as long as I can.
If I donate 1,000 right now, would you get a fade, bro?
If you donate 1,000 right now, I will give you a thank you. I'll go find a random motherfucker in the street to catch a fade with, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna man, I'm missing dance. I gotta keep.
Shit.
But
how about this? You give $1,000 and I'll get dreads in my hair.
He gonna be looking like Jack Black off that fucking movie. Fucking Broken Lizard.
Cut him off, bro.
Man, how much to cut him off, man? Look, just like Maury said, Capella can't price itself out of Houston. I've been growing these motherfuckers for quite some time, man, since just before my best friend passed away. So the only time I'm gonna cut him off is, like I say, it's gonna have to be a major move.
Oh, Steve J with the drop.
Oh shit, man. That boy, okay, it's a challenge going on in this motherfucker.
Hey, white persuasion, Steve J calling you out.
Yeah. That's what's up. Hold up, man. Hold up.
Oh God.
Man, okay. That's a good question though. Like I said, we're gonna talk about a couple of things. Now, Ray, I mentioned, I think we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it on the stream or not. We might have, I be smoking sometimes, so I be forgetting. I hear you. The guy out of Army, the Army tackle, Brett Toth, I believe. Toth.
Yeah.
So would you take a flyer on him? I mean, what would be the most you'd be willing to risk on him?
A 6th.
You say a 6th rounder out of him?
Yeah, that's much more to get him.
Okay.
6 or 7, nothing more.
Okay.
I compare him. If I'm going to compare him to someone from last year's draft, I'd say He's kind of like Davenport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cause I saw him getting a bunch of love. From the press and shit like that, man.
Ooh, white persuasion coming back.
We say Okay, go for it. Yeah, I was gonna say, look, yeah, y'all go break white persuasion, man. You said, yeah, young dude try to get it in, man. But I appreciate all the love, man.
This is strip club money.
Yeah, look. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go. I'm a vlog from a strip club. We're gonna do sauce in the strip club, man, and we're gonna make it rain through the super chat.
I'm a guesser.
Yeah, oh hell no. But man, that's dangerous. But yeah, man. So like I say, I appreciate all this love. Y'all done made my evening, man. I definitely appreciate it. I might look. I said I was thinking about the Kush deal. I might, because like I said, I might have to do another drink deal like we did last night. But I appreciate that, man. Like I say, I appreciate that like to the full. I don't even have the words to explain how much I definitely. Like I said, it's truly sincere, man. I definitely appreciate that. Like I said, we joking and clowning, but the fact that, like I said, y'all coming out of pocket to show love to the sauce, man. I fucking love it. Oh man,
bro.
damn, that's what's shaking. But man, like I say, shit.
I took out just like a rocket. I'm gone. Elijah Warren, Hakeem.
Shit, look, Elijah Warren got a motherfucking triple double tonight, man. I appreciate that love, Steve J, man. Like I say, I'm finna catch a cramp. But man, like I say, it's a lot of stuff going on. So I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. And like I say, we sit here, we talk about these things, but in reality, man, we're gonna be right, we're gonna be wrong. It's gonna be some speculation. Darren over there rolling. Look, Darren that went to the weed, man. Now he rolling up, man. Hold up, man. You know what I'm saying? Ray show us some love, man. Look, Ray just want to see Elijah Warren. He don't give a fuck about Honcho, man. He just want to see Elijah Warren shit. He just,
Honcho, man, don't be giving out them
love both of you equally. Thank you very much.
Elijah Warren, Hakeem. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Look, what you talking about? Don't be giving out the info. You committed the whole transaction on stream.
Nah, y'all ain't seen me do nothing.
I heard it. I done heard them shit.
That's not an interview in court,
for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, man, I appreciate that love, man. Like I say, we just be fucking with Darren, man. Darren doesn't do that. He's a hardworking man. He doesn't smoke. He smoked that Tunchi, that legal shit.
You a liar? Come on. Don't lie to them people.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But
I'm out there on Belford and Scott, shermed out and whatnot. Nah.
Man, hey, what you do in your time off the stream is your business. I don't, hey, Scott is hot. That's all I'm saying.
I be chilling, man.
Man, that's what's happening. That's what's shaking, man. Like I say, man, this evening, man, like I said, I have no idea. I don't even have words. Like I say, y'all just showed so much motherfucking love tonight, man. I don't even know where to start with that shit, man. Like I said, this is definitely unexpected. Greatly appreciated. Christmas in January. But like I say, we've been fucking with the flavor for a minute. We didn't hit 2 hours and a little bit of change. And I'm gonna be honest, like I say, with the lack of news, I don't have too much more sauce to splash. So that's why I say, if y'all got something y'all want to ask, if y'all got something y'all want to participate in, like I say, if anybody else in the table got something they want to say,
hey,
yeah,
guys, I gotta be up in like 4 hours.
Oh
now.
Man, oh yeah, so, man.
I'm gonna have to dip here.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate you following up. What's the? Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, don't go broke. Donate to the sauce, man. I appreciate the love, man. But like, look, I want you. You gotta eat. And you gotta do all your. You gotta do your thing, man. It's all Gucci, man. It's all look. Hey, white persuasion, you did more than enough, man. Look, don't even sweat that, man. You done went out on the reach, and I appreciate that. Steve J then came with the flavor. Man Things then came with the flavor. Ray then came with the flavor. And like I say, everybody coming with the love, man. Look, Ray done put in double duty. He showed some love. Duck Scout showed some love. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hopped on the stream and showed some love. That's what I'm talking about, man. Darren went and bought a sack. He ain't show no love, but it's all good. I'm fucking with you, man. I'm just fucking with you, Darren. I'll be giving you a hard time.
Oh, Debo Starlin, man.
Yeah. Oh, Rousey signed with WWE? Already, man. I appreciate that, Steve, man. Like I say, but we're gonna do like PBS say, man. It's from the support of viewers like you that allow this thing to happen. Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna backdoor and do a cushion. Any of you guys planning on streaming tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a mock draft.
You gonna do a mock draft?
Yeah.
You gonna be going up live right after
Man,
this?
shut your damn mouth.
Like,
Shut up, Dan.
Dan, you always got some extracurricular activity going on, man. You know what I'm saying? But so you plan on going live after this?
Yeah, man, I think I'm gonna do a mock draft simulator, just kind of get you guys show some of the viewers, man, what I look at, and it's kind of where my perspective is.
Same here. I'm gonna be doing meal. I'm gonna do one as well.
Okay. So, man, make sure, look, y'all check out. If y'all have not hit the description box and checked out Ray, haven't subscribed to Darren. And, man, y'all really got to, like I say, Ray definitely be giving some real in-depth knowledge. So if you're not familiar with Ray, man, y'all definitely got to check him out, man. Darren gives very good perspective, but he loves Martavius Bryant a little bit too much for my liking. Outside of that, everything is all good. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you check out Darren because he's going to give you some good shit, too.
Oh, my God. I can't even remember the last time I mentioned the two of those guys in a video.
Today?
If not, think about it.
No.
I'm talking about in a video that I'm doing, that I recorded.
Okay.
I can't even remember the last time I mentioned.
Well, man, look, that's your signature, man. You got to make sure you show them guys some love, man. Nah, I'm fucking with you though. But like I say, so if y'all guys want to keep talking Texas, man, y'all want to keep talking football, Ray and Dan are going to be going live, so make sure y'all sub, make sure y'all hit that notification button so y'all can get the notifications. I'm going to take a small break here for a little bit, but I think like I said, I ain't got no kush tonight. I ain't smoking tonight, but I might do a kush den. I might do a little drinking in the den tonight like we did last night. Get the double cups with the fake lean.
Take a break and go cry.
Yeah, I'm just go tears of joy for all this love that y'all just showed. I can't cry on stream. Got to be a big man. I'm gonna be a big boy on stream. I ain't gonna cry. But man, like I say, definitely I appreciate all the love. But so make sure y'all tune in to Ray and them. Anybody y'all want to shout out to before we get up out of here? Oh, that boy, the white persuasion in the back door. Look, it came back with the action, man. God damn. Ain't no crying in baseball.
Really, without y'all, like I said, even in my streams and everybody else, bro, without y'all, our channels wouldn't even be here, bro. So we really respect y'all for everything y'all doing, bro.
Exactly, dog. Exactly. Like I say, we don't take none of this shit for granted, man. Like we definitely appreciate y'all taking the time to fuck with us, man. Like I say, some of y'all have been here this whole fucking stream. Took 2 hours out of y'all's live to come fuck with the flavor, to come fuck with the round table. That shit is greatly appreciated. God damn.
I took out just like a rocket. I'm gone. Elijah Hakeem.
I ain't danced this much since college shit. When I used to actually have moves and shit, you know what I'm saying? Nah, shit, I'm out of there. I
still have moves.
I just got a stiff ass little 2-step now. That's all I got. Just staying in place, just kind of rocking with it a little bit. But man, like I say, man, that's that. Yeah, we gonna have to show Steve some super love, man. We go figure out a special care package for everybody showing some saucy love, man. But with that being said, man. Yeah, we might have to. Yeah, Steve, what do you think about that, man? If you ever want to be on the round table, man, you let us know, man. We definitely would love to have you on here.
That's why I had to put it in the chat, bro. I was like, Steve J, bro, we might even have to get him on the damn round table.
Yeah, let you spill your flavor on the table. But with that being said, damn, white persuasion, man. Look, you can't look. Hold on, I got to get ready for my dance, man. But
okay.
Anybody?
Yeah, they ain't gonna let you in this shit, man. You might keep going.
Yeah, that's say go keep on. You say silent. Trust me. Look, the YouTube thing is actually a new avenue for me because honestly, I'm not a person who talks a whole lot. Or prior to this, I really wasn't a person who just talks a whole lot. I'd rather chill in the cut and just kind of peep what's going on, man. So that's what's up. But we still gonna figure out something super special for Steve, man. White persuasion putting in work, matching donations, dog. So that's a lot of love, man. I appreciate all that. But like I said, I'm gonna let these guys get their shine on, and I'm not gonna take all the glory. So I'm gonna let these guys get their shine on, so you can hear from them firsthand and hear some of the research and some of the work that they've been putting in behind the scenes. But like I said, I'll probably do maybe a little small short cushion in later, but that'll be later on. So make sure, like I say again, hit that description box. SlideByStaySaucy.com. Be in tune because February 1st I should have everything back in order to be the new and fresh SouthSports.com should be back up. And we're gonna do some special things with that, so make sure y'all are part of that. But with that being said, man, like I said, if nobody else has, I don't even want to make sure I cut everybody. I want to make sure I gave everybody a chance to shout out if y'all had anything else y'all want to say.
Nah, man, thanks to everyone, man. Seriously.
Yeah, dude, that means a lot, bro, to everybody, bro. That really do mean a lot, man.
Already. So like I say,
Man,
thank
shout
you.
out to everybody that donated, man. Shout out to everybody that viewed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all know what I'm finna say next. Most of all, y'all stay
Shameless
saucy.
promotion time, baby.
We out. I ain't even gonna shameless promote tonight, man. Ain't no point in promoting. I'm out. Look. They just showed so much love tonight. I ain't even gonna hit y'all with no ads and no promotion. None of that. None of those shenanigans, man.
Oh.
Tonight, y'all just stay saucy, man. And on that note, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. We out, man.